We'll use 5 different hand positions. Let's start with normal grip, shoulder width. Lunge system. That's it. Focus your energy. You ready? Lunge system. That's it. Focus your energy. That's it. Now, time to torture our stomach and our abdominal muscles. Flip on your back and get ready for stomach crunches. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, three, four, one, two, three. Now roll over. We'll work your lower back. And the small of your back. Ready for some hyper-reach. Lunge tester. That's it. Focus your energy. You ready? Lunge tester. That's it. Focus your energy. That's it. Now let's work some lunges. Keep your legs shoulder width apart. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's work your waist. Lay on the right side, one hand behind your neck. Ready?
Oh yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, feeling good, feeling wet, feeling moist, feeling slippery, with the oils all over your body. It's time to get in the tub. Time to let the water cascade down across your body. Feel the primordial ocean that covers us all. And feel it one with your fellow man. Feel it one with the people you know and you love. We are all one big, beautiful organism. We are all one big, beautiful rainbow. And tonight, under that rainbow, we're going to have ourselves a bit of fun. It's the Monday Night Grift! Yeah! Ooh! Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful Monday. What a beautiful Monday it is, of course. Here on the Monday Night Grift. Today is June 27th. Coming up on July 4th. I hope you guys have a patriotic holiday planned. Although I know some people are very upset with the American experience these days. Whatever it is, however you feel, regardless, I hope you love yourself. Because that's all we can do. That's all we can do, folks. Love ourselves and the people around us. I have no idea what we're talking about, but I know one thing we're going to talk about. Well, we got a lot of topics on the docket. I don't know if we have a lot of topics or if we have one topic. We might just have one topic because the Obi-Wan Kenobi finale has arrived. Obviously, it arrived last Wednesday, so it's been endlessly dissected. But I think I like that our show is a little bit late to the game. People have time to sit with it, to let their opinions ruminate. And now you're going to get a more nuanced discussion of this Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Was it a success? Was it a failure? I think is going to be tonight's topic. And I'm joined by some true Obi-Wan scholars, including Drunken Atheist here. Yes.
What up, Vito? Thanks for having me on.
Now, DAS, you are, of course, an Obi-Wan historian, we know.
I don't know if I would call myself that, but I have watched the new series.
Well, that's pretty much all you need. That's what we're doing here. We're talking to people who've seen the show, and I think some other people are going to drop by. We also have Rhea, youtube.com/Rhea with how many A's?
4 A's.
4 A's, guys. There you go. How you doing, Rhea?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on.
You have seen the Obi-Wan show?
I did, and I have a lot to talk about with y'all about it, so I'm excited.
Because sometimes I invite people to the show, and I go, here's the topic, and they go, I'll be there. And then I get there, and I go, we did this with Batman once. I was like, all right, we're going to talk about the movie The Batman. Now, who has seen The Batman? And I was the only one who had seen the movie out of the 5 people there. And I was like, well, this is not going to be a good roundtable discussion. This time, I luckily found people who have actually watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, including Mean Words is here. Mean Words.
Howdy do. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. And you, of course, have also seen Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I've seen Kenobi, and I think I'll take advantage of the fact that it's the first time in a while that I feel the need to defend Star Wars, and it's kind of a nice feeling. So rather not.
So yeah, you contacted me specifically. You said, I think there's a lot of hate for this Obi-Wan show, and you don't think it's warranted. You think people are being unfair.
No, yeah. In general, I say I tend to agree with the fandom menace, but in this case, I think they're being a bit tribal and their dogpile on this, and I just don't think that their arguments are,
I think they're often a very tribal bunch. I don't see a lot of diversity of opinion from the fandom menace types. It seems like they all pick one group opinion. They don't really argue amongst each other. It's a lot of agreement. Am I wrong?
No, there's a lot of agreement, and they just, I think here's an opportunity to disagree healthily, because I honestly think that their unanimous opinions are kind of consistent from show to show, from movie to movie. But on this point, I think that they're losing it, and I think they're being very unfair to the show.
Interesting. Well, maybe we can convince somebody from the Fandom Menace to drop in. We'll see as the show goes along. If anyone knows anyone in that group who might want to come and defend their group's opinions. We also have my good friend Lewis from Nerd Report is here. Lewis.
What up, Vito? What up, pal?
How you doing, buddy?
How's the audio here? Because
I don't know. Everybody in the chat, please let me know if there's any audio problems. But I think usually StreamYard does a pretty good job of balancing everybody out. It's a pretty good program. Yeah. I'm excited. Well, guys, we've got our panel. It's a beautiful panel. And we're going to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Real quick, got a couple super chats already. Vegetable Spy 94 says, what about Hood Thor? I don't know. This is another topic I might bring up later. Have you guys seen the what if Miles Morales was Thor? Where the author had to apologize because it seemed full of racial stereotypes. Oh, that might come up. We'll know. And Vito, the people want to know how is Scraps. Scraps is being a little baby, but she's the only cat I like because she's the only cat now that doesn't pee on my bed. Both her brothers, for some reason, decided my bed is a place to pee, and I have to figure out why that is. We also have the Happy Warrior Pete is here. Pete.
Howdy.
Hey, you got any cats pissing on your life? No, you have dogs. You're
I have
smart.
dogs. I have dog issues.
Dogs can be trained. Cats, I cannot convince. I'm like, no, stop doing the horrible things you do, and they just can continue to do them.
Yeah, they never say trying to wrangle a herd of dogs.
No,
always cats.
That's not a
Cats
thing.
are a problem.
Cats, because cats go their own way. I don't know if I hung up this because here's the worst thing. I bought like a little organizer to go next to my bed, and I put like my phone in there and my Game Boy and my controllers for my TV. And I looked at it and I'm like, how did the cat pee in this? Like literally it's hanging up. And then today I found out that if it's off at an angle, it's like positioned and it looks like a little urinal. And then he's like, I'm going to pee in that. And I'm like, no, all my stuff's in there. Oh my God. I think he peed on my analog pocket. Luckily it's all been cleaned off, but now I think I need to hang it higher so he doesn't think it's a litter box. I have no idea. We also have John Delarosa, so we are gonna have a packed house. John,
What's
seen
up,
Obi-Wan?
Vito?
You've seen the Obi-Wan?
I've watched the entirety of Obi-Wan. Yes.
Wow.
I'm excited.
Well, luckily it was only 6 episodes, right?
What's up, Raya? I've interacted with you like a little bit, and I love your hat. I'm a big A's guy.
Is there any
so.
bad blood in this
Oh, thank
chat I
you.
need
Yeah.
to know about? Do you guys fight?
I think we could all agree that we don't like Vito.
Yeah, well, that's
We
fair
all
enough.
don't like Vito.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Okay,
John
now
killed a man. I know where the body is buried.
John killed a man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do we start? Do we start discussing the final episode or the second to last episode? Or I don't even know where. I don't know. Well, here we get the recaps of the
Do the
episode.
entire thing, dude.
Do the whole show, each episode? I don't think I
There's
have
not
each
much
episode.
to it. It's only a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, but I have to see if I have. I don't have every episode downloaded.
That'll take us 3 hours, though.
Well, whatever. They have.
Fundamental-
They
the
have
fundamental premise of
the.
the show might be a good start.
Yeah, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have done that. But let's see if we can get it from the recaps. So basically, from the beginning of this show, and you guys can see this on your screen, right? This is the actual episode here. Basically, Raya shows up. Wait, can I show a Disney Plus tab? Am I allowed to do that? Maybe I can bring it up on Disney Plus. I'm gonna test that real quick.
I bet they'll hide it. I bet they got some algorithm on there that goes and scrambles
They might. I'm gonna find out. But as we know, so the point of the Obi-Wan show is what? That Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is supposed to be in the desert looking up after Luke Skywalker, poor old Princess Leia goes missing, and he has to save baby Leia from the evil Raya, who it turns out it was a trick. It was a trap to try and expose Obi-Wan. Reva. What did I
I
call
think that
Raya?
was a Freudian
The
slip.
evil Raya.
Because
Horrible.
I'm such a Reva defender.
Yeah, because I hate Raya so much. No, I don't hate Reva either, but a bit of a lackluster character. Let me see if I can bring up the show. Give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, it looks like I can do that. Okay, so that'll make things a little easier than what I was trying to do. Okay.
Gosh, I watched this last week, and I don't remember it. That's how unmemorable this show is.
Well, okay, so let me see if I can figure out camps. Because I'm gonna say my ultimate opinion is that it's not memorable. It's fine. It's whatever. But it feels to me like Disney Star Wars is kind of meh. So I guess I'm in the middle. Who else is kind of in the middle? Like, didn't love it, didn't hate it.
On this particular one?
Yeah, me and Drunken Atheist Studio are kind of like, it's take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I lean towards like it, actually.
Okay, so John,
Yeah.
you lean towards liking it. Pete?
It's like a sandwich where the bread is all right. It's just everything in between sucks.
So there's some good and there's some bad. Raya, are you like it or you don't like it?
I absolutely adored the series. I know that it had its ups and downs as far as like the execution, but where it landed as far as the overall series, what we got at the end of the 6 episodes, I was really happy. So
Okay, so there's a mix of opinions out there, and I also have one more person to add to the show. John Breaks Bed, who's our real Obi-Wan Kenobi historian, is here. John, how are you?
Hi, how is everyone?
All right, we're gonna have 2 Johns, so I'm gonna have to go
Historian.
JDA.
You're a
I'll be
historian now?
JDA.
You got promotion while I was gone.
JDA and JBB. What promotion did you get, John?
Dr. John.
I'm Dr. John. I'm a PhD in all things Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah, he's our resident Marvel and Star Wars historian, which is why he has not watched Obi-Wan Kenobi and will be here to ask. You already know everything that's going to happen because you love Obi-Wan so much.
I actually wrote it, so it was under a pseudonym.
Oh, well, you did a very good job.
Oh,
all right.
I did? I wasn't trying to do a good job. I was trying to
So I guess here's what
kill
we're
the
gonna
franchise.
do. We're going to go through Obi-Wan Kenobi in chronological order, and we'll see if that's a terrible format for this roundtable discussion. But I think it could work. So the show starts off, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We saw children being murdered. This was a very controversial scene.
Why?
Because it's like a school shooting, but with Jedi.
They had to put that disclaimer on the last episode too.
I mean, that's literally what people were saying. It happened kind of like the same week as that horrible tragedy in Texas, and they're like, "Oh no!"
No, I think that's cool.
You don't see the kids die though. I mean, the kids are going to die. No, they
probably
just
deserved
put
it
in this first episode. Now, what was interesting about this is I thought it was very clearly, like, it was kind of obvious to me. Look, there's what's her name?
Reva. Yeah.
Reva. Yeah. And people were like, oh, I wonder if who is Reva? Where'd she come from? Like, she's in the first scene of the show, you morons. Were you not paying attention? Did you not think that the little black girl was going to grow up to be the big black girl? Like, that's
obviously
pretty obvious. Because there's no other reason to have that scene in the show. I don't know why people couldn't piece that together. And then we immediately meet her. And here's the thing. So here was some complaints, and here was my complaint initially about her character, is that I didn't buy her as a bad guy. You know, it felt very forced, her performance. Now, you could make the argument, well, that's because ultimately in the end, she ends up not being a bad guy. Does that excuse her being a lackluster bad guy to begin with? I don't know. It's kind of complicated.
I think you see her arc coming right as soon as she enters the screen. I mean, it's hinted at in the prologue, and I think that her presence, she has redemption arc or whatever written all over it as soon as she enters the scene.
You're right. Yeah, it's almost too odd. But here's the problem: is maybe audiences are just stupid because again, I saw her as a little kid in the training room or whatever, and I went, oh, she's trying to get close to Darth Vader so she can get revenge on him for killing all her friends. Exactly. Like two minutes into the first episode, I'm like, got it, I'm there. But a lot of people, it seems, were like, I don't know who this chick is or what she wants. And I'm like, are you kidding me? The show writes itself. If audiences were smarter, I would say don't have this scene because it's so obvious to me, at least, where it was going.
Yes. It was super obvious.
It felt
the entire time. And then I talked to like the real deep Star Wars people, and they're like, she's the third sister. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. And I still have no idea what that means. Does somebody know that who like knows the comics or whatever the hell it is?
Yes. The third sister refers to there's 2 other sisters, and she is the third of the 3.
Shut the fuck up,
oh thanks. I appreciate that. God damn it.
Right,
he's going to be giving us big Star Wars facts throughout the night, folks. Stay tuned to that.
As I understand it, the lower in rank your sibling, the higher in rank you are. So it's like it's better to be 5th than a 3rd.
Oh, the 5th sister's the more powerful than the 3rd one?
Or brother or whatever it is. But it's like first would be worst. You wouldn't want to be
What was it about, though? I mean, were there these like sisters in the comics or something that are... I don't know.
No, it's just
the Rebels cartoon. They came out in the Rebels cartoon. They did.
Oh, it's from Rebels.
Eventually, they had them also in what's that game?
Fallen
Order. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. The Inquisitor. So this is the period of time where the Inquisitors are going around killing Jedi. Do they ever establish what happened to the Inquisitors at the end of all that? Did Darth Vader end up killing all the Inquisitors? Or we don't know?
Season 2.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think those other pieces of media ever establish what happens to the Inquisitors.
I would imagine that once they're done killing all the Jedi, that Darth Vader was like, all right, well, enough of you guys. I'm the only Rule of 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
So
what Force users we got left?
Well, there's no
Here was-
storytelling between Rebels and Rogue One so far, unless you count like comics. But I don't even think the comics have covered that gap between Rebels, which is obviously an animated show.
Well, that's
and,
what's also confusing
One.
about current Star Wars is that they keep changing what time period we're in. Like all the different projects are focusing on different time periods, so it kind of gets confusing at times. But I guess that's what they gotta do.
It's not confusing. You're
No,
just
for me.
stupid.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it should have on the bottom of the screen exactly what year each scene takes place, so I can put it together better. Now, in this scene, we established that 3 of the most trained Jedi hunters in the universe can be easily foiled if you knock down a piece of wooden scaffolding. Let's see that real quick, if we're allowed to without breaking the... Is this it?
Yes.
Ah, there you go. Nothing can get through that, folks. That was when I was like, all right, TV budget. We got to keep in mind, TV budget. You can't have like a bunch of boulders or something.
We'll get to it later, but Vader has a similar moment later. It's just
Like, couldn't that guy literally just walk around it? It's not even really blocking his path. Like,
For the same budget, they could have made that look a little bit better. Like they could have at least kept the drapes over it. It's like, they could just
or like put more tables so it's like, I could run past, but it's just so inconvenient. I might knock somebody's drink over.
It's like, fuck it.
Yeah. This was
Like,
where I was
damn,
like
he's
a little
good.
bit worried. I was like, I don't know. Is this show? There you go, the ultimate Jedi trick.
Jedi.
They just immediately stop. No attempt to like jump over it or go around.
Dang, I didn't even notice
Move
that.
it aside.
Yeah, like,
You could just lift it back up.
and I think this is very emblematic of I think the problem with the Obi-Wan show is that it's not like a bad show. It's just a show that you're like, it feels like they cut corners. You know what I'm saying? And there's definitely some writing problems, and we'll get into those. But in terms of I know you're on a TV budget, but there's some stuff where you got to go, this looks stupid as hell. Like either cut around it or CG something, or I don't know.
People have pointed
It's
out
also
it looks
not a
like
big
it was shot on
deal.
an iPhone. Do you agree that it looks like it was shot on an iPhone? Because once someone said that, I couldn't unsee it, especially like the early Tatooine bits here.
It
Like,
100% was shot on an iPhone. In fact, as we were making the TV show, we figured that the best, most realistic way to do it would be like through secondhand found footage and piece that together.
Wow. So this is all documentary style.
Yes, this is it's
found
actually
people doing this.
We went
Nice,
to a
very
distant
good.
planet, and we were able to find a society that actually was living out Star Wars exactly as we had written it, and we just took their footage. So it's literally a documentary.
I have
Fantastic
any respect for
stuff.
you guys. Very good.
I liked watching Obi-Wan cut meat. I kept waiting for someone to yell at him about cutting meat because he keeps stealing meat. I just wanted this to be the whole show. Obi-Wan, the meat collector.
I was hoping there would be some sort of labor uprising that he would circle back to, but there was no payoff to seeing him as a
I was
laborer.
confused by that too. I thought there was going to be like a thing where because the only payoff is that we see that now he's a bitch. Because at one point somebody does confront one of his fellow laborers, and he has the opportunity to intervene, and he doesn't. I forget where it was. I think it was right here.
He was gonna start
it was
singing.
regarding the pay. I think it was they were
Somebody it was didn't get paid the right amount. He's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" He's like, "Nothing. I'm a little bitch."
There is a
Sorry."
payoff. The Reva goes back and pushes the water out of his hand, so he can't drink water.
Oh
See,
yes,
this is
that
where-
was I think in episode
The end,
6?
the last
Yeah.
one.
Right before that, he was gonna start singing
It's a
that
bad
song from
payoff.
Aladdin.
This
Which
was
one?
the biggest missed opportunity, though.
The street rat, because he's actually Aladdin in this world.
He's a street rat.
Yeah, he's a street rat.
What were you gonna say, DAS? This is a missed
I-
opportunity, you think?
Oh, yeah. I was saying it was a missed opportunity because the whole slavery thing on Tatooine was introduced, and it was one of the most interesting parts of Episode 1, but they never really come back to it. It's like
We're not gonna make a Disney Plus show about slavery. What are you? Crazy?
No, we're gonna make
Yeah.
Disney Plus shows about school
We can't
shootings.
even call Boba Fett's spaceship the Slave One anymore.
my
They're not gonna make
God.
a slave
Nah, there's-
show.
There's no
this
way
is
they want to
all
draw
exactly.
attention to their
They're snapping
sweatshops and
kids'
China.
necks, and they're hanging people in the market. This show was was a little based. I think they could have.
They don't want to draw attention to the fact that they use slaves, in China.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. For pure storytelling reasons, they should have.
I don't think they
addressed
used
it.
slaves on this show. They might have used them on Mulan.
We can we can ask our expert, and he can tell us.
Yeah, our expert.
Actually, the entire cast was not paid.
Okay, good. So all slave labor.
All slave labor.
Obi-Wan.
In fact, we stole money from the children that were on set. They had
all
to
right,
pay to
look,
be
we
there.
got to talk about Baby Leia now. There's been a point of contention for people. And now what's interesting, what some people don't know, they started making the Obi-Wan show, and it was about Obi-Wan saving little Luke. And they said, no, wait, this is too much like The Mandalorian, and they scrapped it, and they had to come back, and they halted filming and went back and wrote new scripts. But then they just made it Obi-Wan with Baby Leia, which is basically the exact same thing. I don't... If that's what they were trying to avoid...
Yeah, but the difference is that she's a little girl.
Yeah, but it's still
the
Lone
future
Wolf and
is
Cub.
female, Vito.
Is every Star Wars project going to be like a legacy Star Wars character hanging out with a little kid? Is that it?
See,
That's the plan for the next
That's
7 properties.
That's kind of what Force Awakens was. It was, hey, I'm Han Solo, I'm old, and here's the... I guess that's how you do it. I don't know. Regardless, some people really hate Baby Leia. I love her. I think she was great.
I hate her.
Same. I was a big fan of her.
Me and Rhea love Baby Leia. Who does not like Baby Leia?
Lots of the producers also loved Baby Leia.
She's
shut up, John. Jesus Christ.
She's not like episode 1 Anakin, but she is slightly irritating. But I could see that character growing up into Leia. Except it's sort of like when you get to the scenes with her, it jumps into an Ewoks movie, like borderline Ewoks movie. It's really.
You think it's
tone,
too comical, too cartoonish?
It's kind of a big tone shift, and I think it kind of pulls away for all the stuff that I'm more interested in. But they're trying to make this. They're trying to make it for everybody.
Yeah.
This one's all right.
I think for me, the believability of seeing this young child with such a high intellect, and also how young presenting she is, and believing that she's 10 years old, that was a little bit of a hurdle for me for the first couple of episodes. But then as I got acclimated to her character, it became less of an issue.
See, that was my thing, is that a lot of people say oh, she's too smart, she's too whatever. Kids aren't like that. I'm like, man, have you ever met weird homeschooled kids? Because I used to work in a card game store, board game store, comic book store. And weird homeschooled kids would come in. They'd just be there all day. These little 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds who only hang out with adults, who all they do is read books and whatever else. And they were kind of weird and a little advanced beyond their age, but didn't have the best social skills. So I don't know. I was like, yeah, I've met this kid. At least this version of that kid is kind of fun and not obnoxiously trying to challenge me with dinosaur trivia. Or whatever the autistic kids would be doing.
That was the first. There was a lot in the first draft. Was the
it was her being like, "Did you know that this dinosaur was all right, Leia? Did you know that this brain is this fast? Yes, you little all right."
I think the big problem is that I think she's likable, but the plot is she gets caught by the Empire, interrogated by a Sith Lord, and then rescued by Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is episode 4.
Yeah, we had to cut out a lot of the spicier scenes with the child.
Well, there's a good point that this again, they do kind of do the same Star Wars movie again. It's kind of like A New Hope, where Princess Leia gets kidnapped, and we have to do a daring rescue of Princess Leia from an Empire, whatever you want to call it, facility. But real quick, we will play, and I think this criticism was warranted. The worst chase scene in all of Star Wars.
Wait.
Here. Have you seen this, John?
No.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, you enjoy this.
Oh, no! They're right behind me! She's 4 years old. All right. Again.
He put that in a
Crazy.
fucking TV show.
dude.
JBB
I can just
has
imagine
not
the
seen
guys
this
behind
before.
her just slowing down more because
Well,
we're
they
getting too
have
close.
to.
We need to back up.
Yeah.
It would have been so funny on one of those takes. They just steamroller and she goes down the fucking hill into a tree.
No, look, she's just really fast. Look at how fast she is.
That's amazing.
Outrunning these grown men. Hold on. Here, look. Ah, she's just tearing ass.
The guy literally has to
so
run
cringy.
to the side.
Yeah,
and run
right.
up
He
the
can't
hill.
stay behind. It's like, well, get around her. Get around her.
Check out how urgent the
Run
guards
a
are
little
too to
bit
get her.
faster.
This does remind me of that fight scene in the Red Room with Rey and Kylo, where one of the fighters has to do a spin in order to not hit one of them while they're fighting. So it's kind of one of those things to avoid.
It is. This is
visual
classic.
complications.
Look, this works in a script. You write in your script, little Leia runs away, and she uses the topography to her advantage. These are her woods, and she knows them. But like, you got to shoot it right, okay? And here we're gonna see the worst offender, the tree branch of. Oh wait, did he already go past it? Let's see.
Oh, he couldn't get over it.
Hold on. She's gonna go. Oh, there we go. Oh,
that was a sweet move.
Trying to hold her way around. All right, no, it's this one right here. Now, if you're a grown man chasing a little kid, do you think you could figure out a way around this obstacle? Let me know. Here we go. All right, one more time.
Just like kind of putting your leg up over it and then walking over it.
I mean, to
right,
be fair,
right here. Watch the green person. Hold on. Oh, how am I going to get her? Oh, my God, it's right there in front of me. Oh.
I mean, to be fair, the Inquisitors couldn't get past all those, fallen, drapes or whatever fell at that restaurant.
There seems to be a problem with going around things or stepping over things.
This branch is at eye height. Shouldn't they see it? Look, they just run straight into it and they go, oh, no.
So to be fair, a lot of these scenes were actually pulled directly from Power Rangers.
Yeah, we just went in and found the footage.
Yeah, we took the footage from Power Rangers and then we superimposed the green guy. So like a lot of the herky jerky movement is.
So they're putties. They're putties.
Yeah, that's why they're so stupid.
Okay. Look, again, it's fine from a story perspective. It's just you shot it really bad. Again, this is a TV budget. Look, this one's like, oh, it's going to take me forever to get over this twig. Oh, I fell. Oh, my God. It's like, come on. This is comical.
To defend the rioters, this isn't the Inquisitors. These are these rando mercenaries they hired. So think of this like hiring guys off Fiverr.
Yeah.
Like this is one of the interns. They're like, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
I've heard a lot of people bring up the point that they can't do the chase scenes look really awkward in these Star Wars shows because they're doing it with this new technique where they have like the big video screens behind them and everything.
Yeah.
Let's say that's limitations, but this is clearly outside.
Mm-hmm.
They would have spent just a few minutes or even I bet they could have edited something better than this end product that we got here.
I think you could have definitely edited something together better. Or you know what you do when you show up on stage or you film for a day and you look at the dailies and you go, wow, this looks like horse shit. You just rewrite the script and you go, okay, this time you just grab her because she's a little girl and we're going to cut the whole stupid, like right here, just run in and grab her and we won't have this pathetic little chase. Look how long after she starts running that they're like, all right, wait for my
Oh, shit. We gotta go.
1,000, 2,000.
I totally
3,
forgot that
1,000.
Flea was in this show. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Flea
This
is
is
here
awesome.
from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
And
Now
that
she's
was
going to
awesome.
start, watch the reaction time from these two. Leia goes, I'm running.
Bye.
Now. Gotta give her a sporting.
Look at the
start.
urgency on these guys. The guards.
What's that?
The guards, they have no urgency to get her. The
Yeah.
ones that come out of the palace.
So how do we feel about the fact that, I mean, Obi-Wan feels bad because he let a fellow Jedi die, and that, I guess, I don't know. That was one thing that was confusing, is that Obi-Wan says, I've abandoned the way of the Jedi, I'm done with the Jedi, but then he goes to, what's his name? Uncle Owen, and he goes, well, the boy must be trained when he comes of age. And I'm like,
that was
so
a
are you like,
contradiction.
are they like, is he
like that
waiting to bring
Dude,
the
that's
Jedi
when I
back?
have a problem, dude. The entire thing, he's hiding over there to protect Luke from Vader, and then he lets go of the Force. So, like, if Vader shows up or some random, like, I don't know, lizard with a pistol, how's he going to defend Luke?
Well, remember, he thinks Vader's dead at this point, so that part's okay. But
He knows about Inquisitors and the Empire. He could barely handle the Empire. This is all dog caca.
And how a fuck has the Empire not found Obi-Wan? Because apparently anyone could fucking find him in the middle of the desert in this little cave that he's in. Jimmy
I guess
Smith
they weren't
just shows up and he's like, oh, I knew your address in the desert in a hole. He just shows up and he's got no security there. He's got two entrances to his cave. It's
Well,
like,
I guess the point
they're
is
inside that Inquisitor fortress, right? Vader doesn't know that she's trying to draw out Obi-Wan. So, like, once he knows that, he's got to know there's an attachment between Bail Organa or whatever, Organa, and Leia and Obi-Wan. So why doesn't he just push the issue and get them between this and New Hope? I mean,
you're talking about Vader knows about Bail Organa?
Well, he should, because they got Leia interrogating her in the Fortress Inquisitus or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
she's in there being interrogated. Vader should know, and there's Imperial troops right there watching her do it. They're going to report to Vader.
Was Vader in the fortress when Leia was about to get tortured, but
he controls everything. He's like one
I
of
guess
the
he
main
should
Empire
know
guys.
maybe.
It's all really sloppily written, and I honestly very disrespectful to the source material.
Well, Benjamin Wheeler for 10 says this show feels like the IKEA of Star Wars. They tried to build everything for everyone, but ultimately did nothing. Feels like a paint by numbers, low stakes show. Oatmeal with no honey. I mean, the problem is, I think you had to do that with Obi-Wan. Is that like, you can't really get too creative with Obi-Wan and tell this radical story. You almost have to do a paint by numbers, like he's gonna fight Vader, he's gonna rediscover the Force. I was talking with a buddy, and he's like, how great would it have been if in the last episode they kill Luke Skywalker, and then you're like, wait, what the fuck's going on? Is this a different timeline? Like,
that'd be kind of
you know, again, they can't do anything. They can't do any of that. There can't be any twist.
That's their fault for picking these time periods, and with.
But honestly, like these kind of work on that level. If you just view it as like a vignette character piece that's like not a full movie or TV series or whatever, you look at it and you go, it was pretty good. It was all right. You know,
that's it.
Also,
but like, are we? Is that what we do with entertainment now? It's just like, is that what we want from Star Wars? It's just like, okay, there's more, and it's never that good, but at least there's more. I know it feels like I don't know. I don't know what I want.
I kind of saw this
do
more as a
more.
launch pad for additional characters to be established and
That's
then get
possible.
their own little
That's
spin-offs.
fair,
Like,
too.
I'm
But-
expecting a Reva spin-off, to be totally honest.
Of course, me too.
No one
I
You want that? You
I
want
think they almost just about
I mean,
pretty
me
much
personally,
announced
yes.
that.
I didn't.
Reva
know.
was all right.
I think that. I think part of the problem is that they went into the show knowing they wanted to make a Reva spinoff. So they did end up devoting, I think, a bit too much of the show to her character. I'll talk about that when we get to the final episode.
Maybe the Reva show will be about Obi-Wan.
I just have a quick question. Like
You know what I mean?
Wow, what a
JP
twist.
has a question. What's your question,
Yeah.
John?
So with this show, is the entire show getting up to that? Because the only thing that I've seen is the last like fight thing. I don't want to spoil it, but is the entire show really just building to that? Like
Him fighting Darth
confrontation?
Vader?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
about
pretty much.
Obi-Wan rediscovering the Force and coming to terms with. I mean, there's like a little bit of a character arc there, but not.
But he doesn't really
But
rediscover the
doesn't
Force. He goes back to abandoning it for 20 years.
No,
or
he goes
something.
back to.
Like,
No, he's
Qui-Gon.
about to go on
His
an
hide.
adventure.
Could
No,
they
he's
get,
about to take off with his new
Dude.
vest. Did
Could
you
they
watch
get
the
around-
finale?
We can
could they
talk
get
spoilers.
around all this like?
Yeah, but he's no.
Long
I
drawn
watched
out-
episode 4.
Could they get around all this long drawn out like boring storytelling by just doing a show that was like moments in Star Wars history that weren't ever caught on film, and then like have like a guy in a black suit be like, and in this moment, this is when Obi-Wan fought Darth Vader, and then
You
they
just want
show
a 3-minute show that's just the fight. And you go, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At least we didn't spend several $1 million making a whole fucking show to get to that one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Like the
as
What
we've-
If series for Marvel.
Yeah. Well, as we've discussed, what fans love about Obi-Wan Kenobi are the baby Leia chase sequences, and episode 2 thankfully gives us a second one. Let's take a look. Here
This was
goes
the worst.
This is
I almost
the
quit.
Baby
time
Leia
she gets
parkour!
In the second episode, she gets caught and then rescued, and then in the fourth one again, right?
This grown man, grown Jedi, parkour! There she goes! How? Oh.
How is she so far ahead of him?
Caffeine.
Longer
this,
legs.
This was, I mean, as a weird aside, this scene did not make any sense to me. That she sees the bad guys are hunting for Obi-Wan, so then she decides Obi-Wan Kenobi is a bad guy, and I'm like, don't you realize he just rescued you from a facility? Like, isn't that a good enough reason why they would be hunting you? Regardless, I just thought that was a little weird. Second episode, I don't know. Did anything really happen in the second episode? We meet.
We get the revelation of we get the revelation of Vader being still alive at the end. That's right.
Because that she tells him
Yeah.
yes. So she
This was an echo. This was an echo of Return of the Jedi. So you have a twin sister, like that.
Okay, so
this is the biggest point of contention is why and how Kenobi, even if he doesn't have the internet, like how on earth he doesn't know that Vader's still alive. But then I guess the only way to address that is exactly how famous is Vader? Is Vader like the Uncle Sam of the Empire and he's a public figure? Or is he like a whispery, shadowy character within the Empire who's sort of positionless? And the show doesn't really answer that, but I think the comics sort of do. They play both, I think, both sides. Like certainly post A New Hope, he's a public figure, but I think prior to A New Hope, he's not really well known.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
guy.
Is prior to A New Hope, Vader is just kind of like, I'm the Emperor's buddy. He sends me to do like quiet assassination stuff, but it isn't like a loud and proud like, and the Emperor starring Darth Vader. Like most people in the galaxy do not know who Darth Vader is and have never heard of his name.
Like even within the Imperial ranks, they don't really know much about Vader or if he even exists. He's like a rumor.
Yeah, well, we know this partially because I mean, remember, there's that guy who challenges him and he goes, "I think you're gay," and the Force is gay, and then he chokes the guy. And he's like, "Never mind, it's not gay, it's cool."
I think they vilified all the Jedi, which would include Sith Lords, and I don't even think the Emperor. That people know the Emperor is a Force.
Yeah, Palpatine's even closet Sith, so it's
so they don't even, and they don't want people to know. Remember that the narrative was the Jedi have taken over the government, and me, the Empire, is going to stop them. So it would be really bad if then they went, and here's your new government starring 2 Force users with incredible powers, and they go, hold on 1 second, you just told us the wizards were taking over the government. And now 2 wizards are running the government. We don't like it.
That's what we think now, but wait till the next show may contradict all that. Though.
You guys are putting way too much thought into it because you're assuming people at Lucasfilm like we're like, okay, but we gotta make sure this fits in canon. Like who knows what, where, and I just don't buy it.
Can I just mention something real quick?
I just don't buy it.
I hate that every Disney Plus show assumes that I'm watching this on a 4K projector in a movie theater. I can't fucking see anything that's going on ever.
That's the lighting, though, Vito.
Yeah, but the lighting of these days is bad. Like so many,
it's awful.
Are impossible to see. They need to understand.
This
people are watching this on consumer televisions. They're watching this on cell phones. Stop cranking the lighting down so low. It looks like crap.
If it's too bright, you're gonna see the seams of where they cheaped out everywhere. You're gonna see the plywood.
I can't see anything. It looks like a black nothingness. Like it's just a man stumbling through a void.
Maybe it's a cinematographer from Alien vs. Predator.
All the time.
Here's how stupid I am. I was gonna say this episode actually looks really good. Like how spooky and moody it is.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, the first 2 episodes were cool.
A creator should take some pride in his work, Dr. John. So
there should be, they should have a setting, and the setting should be,
character.
Are you watching this in a pitch black room with cinema, screen, or are you watching this on your phone? And adjust the brightness.
I would disagree with you because the other Star Wars shows are lit properly. This one's too dark, like you said, but I also felt like I couldn't understand the dialogue. Like no matter how much I fixed.
Oh, you needed the subtitles on.
Yeah, it was like, what the hell are you saying? What?
Maybe I should put in the subtitles.
The action was way louder than the dialogue. The mix was awful,
no,
and not to mention the music was just atrocious.
All right, so the big revelations from episode 2, which we've skipped through very quickly, but basically Leia gets kidnapped. Obi-Wan goes to find her on Blade Runner planet, saves her from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then chases her to this room where the third sister, Reva, encounters the Grand Inquisitor, tells her to move aside. He's going to kill Obi-Wan. She's like, all right, do what you want to do, buddy.
Our first casting for that guy was Bill Burr.
Oh, there goes Uncle Fester.
All right. And then everybody was mad because they've never watched Star Wars before. And they're like, oh, you can't kill him because he's alive in the cartoon. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, obviously he's not dead. Although this does become a very, let me see. How come I can't get the shot of him with the lightsaber through his tummy?
Getting stabbed with a lightsaber used to be a big deal.
He used to
you would definitely die.
I remember.
Now you can get like slashed of them. Ever since Disney took over, like there have been decapitate. Oh, and the Mandalorian sliced someone right in half, and I think it was in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that was kind of the point I wanted to make.
There
Is
we go.
that so? I saw a post the other day on Twitter, and the post was, "How great would it be if General Grievous comes back and he's the bad guy in Obi-Wan season 2?" And I go,
Oh, jeez.
that would be fucking terrible. Does anyone die in Star Wars ever?
No.
Like-
They ripped a page from the MCU. Nobody is to die. Do you understand?
There's been all these
Nobody
memes, and Andy, I see you. There's been all these memes of what do you call it? Qui-Gon Jinn's Force Ghost just looking at this show, going, "What the fuck? How come I'm the only guy who gets stabbed and dies? Everybody else stabs multiple times and gets to live." Andy Signoria from Popcorn Planet is here. Andy, what do you think about that?
About Obi-Wan, or which part? Sorry.
Or
you said-
about the fact that everyone keeps coming back from the dead in Star Wars. You can get stabbed with a lightsaber as many times as you want, and you get infinite continues in the Star Wars universe.
How about? Are we spoiling the show?
Yes, this is
I
a
think it's
spoiler
spoiled
stream,
itself.
guys.
It's so stupid. I mean, I don't know how to say it.
I mean,
the same thing, but the whole
This is gonna be this whole. We're gonna be going through. We're going through episode by episode. This will not be the first lightsaber through the stomach revival. This show has 3 of them, I believe, if not more.
And 2
Yeah,
Leia
right.
rescues.
Darth Vader knew this was happening. This was all part of Vader's plan.
Yeah.
I want to assume he
Forget
didn't
about
know.
spoiling this.
Yeah,
This was literally
dumb.
part of Vader's plan to have this guy go hide on an island somewhere while everyone thinks he's dead, because that's really going to show Obi-Wan and this woman. Like, what?
Well, he must have found the corpse of. So this guy must have said, "Hey, Reva stabbed me," and then Darth Vader went, "Huh? Oh, she's like a traitor, maybe." I'm gonna assume that's what happened. Then he goes, "I know what she's doing. Hey, you, we're gonna put you in a bacta tank, and then I'll trick her into revealing herself."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine going to HR after you've been stabbed by your coworker and be like, "She stabbed me," and they're like, don't worry about it. In fact,
Don't worry, we're
we're
gonna
giving
trick
her
her.
a promotion.
But it's just temporary to trick her. Yeah, the Empire is not the greatest organization. And then the big revelation, I guess, from this episode is Obi-Wan finds out that his good friend, the beloved Anakin Skywalker, is still alive. Let's see. He seems very happy with this news. He's almost got a little tear there. Anakin. Oh, I screwed it up.
Oh no.
Okay, look, we all knew that was coming. Come on.
Yeah.
This is an Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
I didn't recognize that as Hayden Christensen when I first saw that.
Is that actually
I
Hayden
didn't even know
Christensen,
he's
I hope?
I think
it is.
so.
Yeah, they must have, because they got to pay him. I think they said, like, "Hey, can we get you to come back?" And then he's like, "Yeah, it's going to cost you this much." And they're like, "Well, if you're charging us that much, we're going to make you put on the stupid makeup
out of
and
spite?
shit." Yeah, just out of spite. They're like, "You got to put on the costume." He's like, "They won't even know I'm in there." And they're like, "Hey, we're paying you, motherfucker."
I will say the coolest part was that last shot where they cut his helmet into, and then it was like the James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been
That was
done.
very
the
cool.
show all day long. That was
Very
a cool
cool.
visual, and I did enjoy
Dude,
that. As
it's
a
been
nerd.
done 3 times already. That's the
Wait,
The
no,
problem.
mix,
Lewis.
the voice mix.
Dude,
That's
I've
the
never
first
seen
time
that
I ever
voice
saw
mix.
that.
That's the
That's
problem.
cool.
That's the problem. Disney and they're asking us to watch the stupid cartoons, which I don't, and all of the video games and everything. They cut Vader's helmet like that in the video game and the cartoon. So
with
it's
Hayden,
not even.
with like Hayden's likeness in there.
Yeah, well,
did it?
Vader
It
and
was
James
a
Earl
From the
Ahsoka,
Clone
Jones.
Wars
right?
cartoon. They even got the voice actor from the Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch some cartoon or video game though.
No, I
so.
agree with you, man. I
All right,
agree
well,
with
hold
you.
on. We're getting
Doesn't count.
We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but as long as we're talking about it, we'll talk about it. Now, Andy is referring, of course, to this shot where Vader's head gets cut open and we see inside the mask. We're going to talk about this weird lighting in a second, but
And honestly,
There
that's
you
still
go.
a cartoon.
There it is. It is technically a cartoon, I guess.
oh, my
That's still
friend.
CG. It's still a cartoon.
Fuck off.
It was pretty cool.
No, you don't think that's
I
actually him
really-
inside the helmet?
The audio, it is, and the audio really makes it cooler, Vito.
Because of this,
Look at that.
It's kind of like this
Ugh.
amalgamation of the James Earl
Perfect.
Jones AI voice and Hayden Christensen's
Yeah.
voice together.
That
It
was
was the
pretty
only
cool.
moment I liked.
this moment made it worth it for me to sit through this whole fucking thing.
This is the
Yeah.
first time I felt Hayden Christensen was Darth Vader. From
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
this is the first time because I always
This
thought,
is
dude,
cool.
no way that the prequels are the reals.
They shouldn't have had that stupid face-off prior where Darth Vader's suddenly afraid of an explosion and can't use his force powers to film. Like,
He
you got to
was
build up to
scared.
this. You have
That's why
one
we're going
moment
episode
where-
by episode, Andy. We're gonna have to go back now.
sorry.
We're gonna go
You guys
chronological
already
order.
watched it and didn't make fun of the fact that he didn't kill him. Like,
We
what
haven't
the
gotten
fuck?
to episode 3 yet, but
Jesus.
as we have brought up, this shot of the helmet getting cut open has been done before. Let me see, was it here?
Oh, I'm not watching any of this.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I'm closing my eyes
Loud.
right now.
So much. Oh my god, that makes it so much
worth
dumber
watching.
in Obi-Wan because they're just ripping off Filoni.
Right, and
Who
the
already
Lesser
did
Jedi.
it.
did.
Oh my
Look,
god,
it
I'm
looks
even
exactly
more.
the
There it
same.
is.
Oh God.
Where's the
it
cut?
like
Where's
a
the,
Hayden
where's the
Vader
actual
voice?
strike? Let me see if we got the voice.
The same way.
Nice.
I definitely heard
Maybe I
James
should
Earl
watch
Jones.
It is James Earl Jones. A Padawan did that.
Oh god.
There was somebody
hold
else
on.
doing the voice.
Vito,
right?
I mean,
Yeah, it's
hold
the
on,
voice
hold on
actor for
already.
it's
Hold
the
on, let
voice
it-
actor they use for the Clone Wars show, and every time they do a cartoon thing, they bring in that.
Andy
guy for
seems
Anakin.
upset. Andy, what's wrong?
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, they already did it. They already did it.
They literally ripped off Filoni in the cartoon.
Yeah, they
So
did it
Disney.
already.
They
And the
just
video
went the
game,
side
too.
of the
They
mask.
did it on video game.
It was
So-
the left
Actually,
side that was broken.
There it is.
I
It was the
knew-
right side that was broken.
That's
out.
true. It's the other side. Yeah. There we go.
It's original.
Andy is
So
so
it's
broken
different.
because he loved that. He was like, that was such a good scene. And now we're like, yeah, it was a good scene 5-10 years ago, you moron.
I
don't
precisely
know
called it
what
the
episode
original
it
dude
was.
because it was in Rebels. Such a
Anakin
cool
had like
moment.
the good plot with Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then I hear it's a good plot in the Clone Wars with him and Ahsoka. And so
Yeah.
it's like, but then they're like, yeah, we'll just do it twice.
Same
Yeah.
reveal.
It's
Vader's
the same
helmet
fucking
is
thing because
any-
Disney.
yeah.
We don't give a shit about Star Wars.
We're
Yeah,
not gonna-
who cares? The fans don't even notice. Nobody watched the cartoon. And then if they watch the cartoon, fuck them.
I mean, it is if you watch the
Yeah,
cartoon.
it
fuck
really-
you.
it really
I'm pretty sure
fucks people
that
up.
is
Hold-
Disney's
hold on.
actual
That
opinion.
is.
I have a
for sure.
question. So the
Yeah.
character Darth Vader is so insecure about his voice, he has a weird spooky talk voice that can be destroyed. I thought that was just his voice from then on.
No,
I didn't
think
realize
he
that
had-
it was because of the
his
mask
voice is so weak that he needs a voice. You know,
to
he
make
needs,
him
one
sound
of
like a
those
black
guys-
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like
really
the
does
chronic
sort of ruin it.
smokers and with the stoma.
He's like a Val
The-
Kilmer situation. Man. He's like a tracheotomy, okay?
I
no.
think if George Lucas had the foresight, he wouldn't have established in the first movie that being touched with a lightsaber makes you disappear. They wouldn't have made it so with the whole voice thing. This is all stuff they have to write around.
Well, so like in the real Star Wars before the prequels, Vader made that suit to intimidate people. He made it bigger. He constructed that voice. He was good building stuff. And then I don't know, man. They just changed.
Wait, like
everything.
Iron Man?
Yeah, it's meant to
Yes.
intimidate people. His helmet's a crown. He's like 6'5". You know, it's
Wait. You have never watched 10
No.
Facts About Vader's Suit? One of the best red letter media videos of all time. Oh, God.
Okay. Now that I know that it's Red Letter, I will watch it, but I have not seen it.
Hold on. I want to see if I can find oh, man. It's full of so many gems.
Stuck needles into Vader's skin when fixed in place, which fed neurological data on brainwave activity to the central chest computer.
Oh, yeah.
The mask's appearance was given a similar appearance to a skull in order to enhance the fear factor of the Dark Lord of the Sith.
there you go.
There you go.
Components for disassembled Soro sub DH-57 comlinks were also built into the mask's interior as a result of it being a cheaper solution compared to a custom designed new unit.
Of course.
They were concerned about costs.
So basically, you find out Vader's
giant planet that could blow up other planets.
Palpatine apparently was a cheapskate, and everything in Vader's costume is just like whatever you could find lying around that he didn't have to pay money for.
Shoestring and gum.
Well, I mean, think about it. He could have made him look like General Grievous, but he chose not to.
He could have done a lot, and instead he's just kind of like. And also, Vader was in constant pain, apparently, from that.
That's
okay,
good.
so episode 3. What has happened is now Obi-Wan has baby Leia. Baby Leia is secured.
Is this the one with the desert chase that they could have just walked around it, but they didn't?
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't understand people.
Okay, all right, can I say something real quick? Put it back.
Absolutely.
Put it back. Put it back where he's talking to Reva.
Where at the beginning?
Who's
Yes,
one of
right
the
at the
worst
beginning.
characters?
Okay, watch this.
in a
Watch
long
this.
time.
Okay,
But I guess I'm racist, Vito.
for 5 minutes. Okay, look, I'm an old school Star Wars dude, right? Darth Vader used to breathe as he spoke, and the breathing was really loud. For some reason, Disney, Star Wars, the Clone War, even the Clone Wars with Lucas, they have Vader talking without the breathing or not breathing at all. He's talking to Reva for 5 minutes without breathing, and that's why it feels off.
Is he talking to her here at the beginning of the episode?
He's been looking for you for a long time.
I don't think he
At the
talks
beginning
to
of the
her
episode,
here.
he starts talking to her in a hologram.
Is that understood?
All right. So you're gonna say?
Oh no, that's terrible.
No breathing.
He's not breathing.
He will pay for the Grand Inquisitor's
The Grand Inquisitor means nothing.
It's just James Earl Jones' voice.
Kenobi is all that matters now. Is that understood?
Wow, you're so right.
Yes, my lord.
Wow. They were so proud of themselves for them being
I
able
have
to
been
fake
watching you,
this voice
third
acting with
sister.
computers that they forgot to
I know
make
what
sure
it
that he
is.
breathed.
Well, that's a question I have. Is this actually James Earl Jones or is it a
Nope.
computer voice print?
It's crazy cool technology. I'll give it to them that because it fooled me the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
And
It's
I've
not
Well,
seen
John
it.
will know.
Seen
He
it.
worked on the production.
Yeah,
But they
it's
could-
actually we tied James Earl Jones up in a basement.
chair.
and beat him.
Well, it's crazy because they clearly did. They must have like made him read an hour of like script, so they own James Earl Jones as
I
Vader
think
for the
it's-
rest of all time.
Yeah.
It's an
Probably similar to what
algorithm
they did
like
with
that,
Mark
that
Hamill.
Alexa thing. They have an Alexa thing that works.
They make you sit there and read Apple, Andrew, actuary,
And
then
now they
eventually
We
have
made him
Apple.
read every word in the English dictionary.
Well, you don't gotta read every
Isn't that-
word, but every
No, we
syllable
did, though.
or
We-
whatever.
We made him
We
read
made him
every
read
single word in the English dictionary.
We just thought it would be funny to make James Earl Jones read a dictionary.
Yeah.
And,
We didn't
knows
need
what
it,
didn't have to
but-
read the whole
Disney did
thing.
to
Stanley.
Fascinating.
I don't know. It really bugs me at the mechanical breathing. It's like watch Star Wars, guys, before you make the movie. Like his
No.
breathing was
No.
huge.
That's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna
We
watch
don't got time for that, Lewis.
Fuck you. We're not watching that fucking movie.
All right, I want to say right here, is this the shot? This was
It
a
is
good
James Earl
shot.
Jones. He did say he's on it. He's credited.
Well, yeah, but is
Well,
it credited
we-
as him or
There's
credited as
there's a note.
There is some note in the credits to something about some voice print technology, something. But I
I
don't
think it's the
remember
same
what it
stuff they use with Mark
It's
Hamill,
probably
right?
young
They
Anakin.
can't use Mark. They can't use Mark Hamill's current voice, but they used a combination of that and old audiobooks that he narrated and stuff like that to get the old
Oh, God.
80s,
I was trying to
70s.
look at
Whoa.
the-
Whatever. Do your
I
show.
didn't
It's
know
fine.
that.
Dude. James Earl Jones is doing interviews saying, yes, that's my voice.
Interesting. I would
He's
imagine.
a liar.
Because Mark Hamill talks like this. but
It is
the
true
old
that James
people
Earl
don't
Jones is famously a liar. So
Oh,
he's just an old man who likes to make stuff up. Okay,
right.
I liked this shot. Everybody, shut up and let me have my little
awesome.
Vito cinematography. Is that he's walking along Leia? Now I don't understand. They were supposed to meet somebody out here, and I was like, this is clearly Empire technology or territory. Terrible place to just be walking around. But regardless, this shot right here. Walking along with my friend Baby Leia.
Dude, this is
that
Joshua
guy.
Tree. You didn't even notice? This is
I mean,
Joshua Tree
I'm sure
Desert.
it's
It's like
Joshua
the most
Tree.
uncreative Star Wars environment I've ever seen him do.
Every Star Wars environment is Joshua Tree. What?
No, I mean,
guess
they're
the one they
literally
went to
showing you the trees.
Tunisia. They're showing you the trees from Joshua. I guess they could have CG'd out the trees, but
Ugh.
90% of the world doesn't care about Joshua.
like
Listen,
Tree.
that would have
an hour
cost like an
from
extra
LA,
like
so
couple
it's
$100
such a
bucks to
lazy
do. So we
choice.
just left them
Everyone in the world does not live in LA. We're the only people who care, Andy. Regardless, he sees a shadowy figure off in the distance.
creepy.
Who
I
could
like
that be? Oh,
Yeah.
spooky, spooky.
That is a menacing look, though. That's pretty cool.
Well,
I was looking
thought,
at my phone during this part.
this. Tell me you didn't
Not
get swings
yet.
in the shadows.
Not to
chills when you saw
get
this? I did.
too fucking what do you call it with this? Not to get too film school kid with it, but I thought this was them trying to do the Seventh Seal a little bit. That he's seeing the literal representation of death in a cloak, standing out there doing a thing.
You are giving these people way too much credit.
Well, that's kind of the easiest film analogy you could give is Seventh Seal.
Ask John if that was their intention. John, did you intend to do that?
John, did you intend that?
No, actually, we were ripping off. You know that YouTube short movie with the guy with the spoon that kills. He runs around.
Are you talking about Salad Fingers?
No, not Salad Fingers. There's another one. It was like he tries to kill the guy very slowly with a spoon by smacking him gently.
No, I have no idea.
I'm not sure this is a YouTube video.
Guys,
I might be getting this confused with a pornography
I think you
film
might
that
be
I've watched.
confused with a pornography there.
Let's
see. Ben Masters, Vito, you are way too charitable. I don't know. I felt that was a pretty obvious little. I mean, I don't know. At least thematically, it seems kind of, or just the look of it. It had the same look. Okay, we get to go to. What is this? This is another Empire thing.
This is the
Fortress Inquisitus or Inquisitors.
Okay, where the Inquisitors stand out. All right, so why do the Inquisitors need a giant triangle?
What's at the top? Temple.
What's at the top? Did they just take a Star Destroyer, turn it 90 degrees, and sink it into the ocean and go, there you go?
What a creative design.
Spaceship. All right, whatever. I can't. So she meets with this. So now my friend says this is kind of racist. He's got a little like futuristic Chinese rice cooker hat. Am I wrong?
But he's a character from the cartoon, so
yeah,
is that
but like,
racist for him to cast an Asian person of color as that role? I don't know.
Can you not get an Asian guy to wear what looks like?
That was Han from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, is it?
Dude, look, Vito, look up that character, how he looks in the animated version.
What the hell's his name? I'm just gonna look up racist Chinese Star Wars character. Hold on.
You're just gonna get episode 1.
That's a lot of results.
Okay, if I look up racist Star Wars character, the first result is the Wikipedia for Jar Jar Binks. So that's not helpful. Wait, that's the fifth brother?
Yeah, I think that's who it is.
Okay, fifth brother, Wikipedia. Okay, because in the cartoon or whatever, he doesn't look as racist. He looks kind of like
he's a mushroom.
Asian is to be.
Oh, it looks way different. Okay, so he's supposed to look like this guy.
Yeah, way better. Which is so lazy, like kind of almost like a Japanese traditional samurai look. More.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that would make.
That's pretty cool. Now he's like Billy Corgan with a weird mushroom hat.
Yeah, these characters do not look the same at all.
No, they do not. That was one of the big.
Did they make him more yellow, Vito?
I know. Why is he yellow? Don't make the Asian guy yellow. I thought since Power Rangers we established you don't make the Asian one yellow because everyone comments on it forever. This looks terrible. Oh, like I know he's a samurai or whatever. I think you should have gone with something like this.
No, this is perfect.
This is perfect. He's literally got like a little. Future. What is that? What is the purpose of this hat? What does it do in the Star Wars universe?
In case
it covers him from the sun.
Is it blocking lightsaber blows from like? It doesn't block the left and right side of your head. Why would you get a full helmet?
It's very intimidating. That's why.
Does it have air conditioning built into it? It's got these little vents.
That'd be sweet.
It's for the heat and the sun.
I think maybe he's a method actor like Brando. He just has the lines being fed to him through the helmet. That's like Jason Momoa.
Okay, can any of you Star Wars people answer me this?
Yes.
All right, this is episode 4. Luke is on the Millennium Falcon, and he's wearing this. No, I'm talking about actual Star Wars episode.
A New Hope.
A New Hope. Thank you.
All right, so Luke is practicing, and Obi-Wan gives him this helmet that has a blast shield on. You can't see through it. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of that helmet? What is it used for?
It's to train him on the jet, so he lets go of his vision and he uses his feeling.
it's an accessory for that little
I guess
thing that shoots
maybe
him?
Jedi exclusive.
Okay.
I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, but I have the question.
All these lights in your studio are just freaking me out, dude.
I like.
Sorry, I have some.
I like those lights.
You're saying why would it be on Han Solo's ship? Who's not?
Yeah, I did. Like, what is Han using that for?
No. Here's what I'm gonna assume. Here's my assumption is that
Date night
it does have some sort of like visual display inside of that but then Obi-Wan Kenobi has turned it off to repurpose it specifically for whatever training.
I like that answer because that's always been a mystery
watching
to me.
porn.
It would make it's a porn. This is a porn VR headset that Han Solo has, and thankfully, as Luke was doing the training, there was some naughty, horrible things going on, and he didn't learn a lesson, sadly.
There it is.
All right, episode 3. They're in the desert. This is fun.
Again?
I'm having fun. I hope everyone's having fun.
We're still on episode 3.
We're still on episode 3. We're getting through it. We're going quick. Here we go. So he gets on a thing with a racist guy or whatever, or not racist. He just hates Jedi and he loves the Empire. You know who does the voice of this guy? Who knows? Who knows who it is?
It's not
Oh,
The opening for Skyrim.
The director of Garden State. Sorry, I'm just.
Yes.
I don't know why I remember him as that.
Zach Braff, who said it? Main words got it. Zach Braff plays a
I
racist
hate Zach Braff.
alien.
These
No, we love him.
stormtroopers have the dorkiest voice too.
Good.
They're so
Stormtroopers
dumb.
should be dorky.
Although he
Quote
does
Red
sound
Letter
like
Media
Rogue
real
One.
quick.
More so.
If cancer were pretentious, it would be Garden State.
Now everybody was making fun of. Okay, everybody's making fun of this laser gate. Is that correct?
Yes, because it's so lazy.
Yeah.
Let me see.
The worst. Here it is.
Ridiculous.
Just walk around it. Just go around it.
Based on what we've seen so far about these
I
like
can get
very
over that
scalable
thing.
barriers, are we not surprised by this though?
Okay, but the
You know,
point of
I-
this is not. They have road barriers elsewhere that yes you could walk around, but the point is that there's guards as well. So I don't think this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but wait,
There's guards if you try to go
It's
around.
a vehicle
Yeah, but the
roadblock.
guards never hit
That's
anything that they
valid.
shoot at ever, and they know this.
Like when you go to one of those like a toll booth and there's like one of those arms that comes down, you don't go, I could just walk around that arm. It's like, yeah, you could, and then we're gonna
But I
call
don't
the
have
cops, moron.
superpowers.
Even in the thing though, it's a hover thing. Like he can hover
This is
over
hovering?
the terrain, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not even on the
so-
ground.
No, this is above hover height. You can only hover a certain amount. Look,
Why?
because that's Star Wars rules. I don't know. You ever see anything hover more than a foot off the ground?
Yeah, don't they do like jumps and stuff? And when
No,
they're
they
doing
don't
the
do
hover
jumps. Do they? No, I don't think
Yeah, they
so.
fucking
Yeah, and I think they did in the last Star Wars.
In Boba Fett, no. Anytime they did a jump, they
Rise
had
of
like
Skywalker. I
in
don't
Rise of
forget what the last one
Skywalker.
called.
That's 60 years from now. Hover technology is transformed. This is
Oh, okay,
back in the
that's
day. You couldn't hover over.
They
this.
have jetpacks, Vito.
They have jet. I don't know who has a
They fly now.
jetpack.
The
At what
clones do.
point? Okay. Anyway, people were mad that Obi-Wan is about to surrender here, and I'm like, look,
Fake
man, he's
surrender.
tired. They're like, what? There's a lot of stormtroopers. He's like, maybe it's just safer for the
There's
girl if
3.
I just give up. I guess there's just 3.
He's fake giving.
I
up.
don't know. I guess he was just like, it's probably safer. There's more coming. They've probably contacted ahead. It's probably safer for her if I just surrender and maybe I can work my way out of it later. Anyway,
she
people
can
were
just
really
run
mad.
away.
What did you guys think of
Well
this
done.
character who is a secret Empire spy?
You ever see Torchwood? Torchwood,
She's
great show.
No, I never saw Torch.
Then you would like that person because she's really good. She's actually a pretty talented actress.
Were they
I was
trying to
surprised
make
see her
her
here.
like a love interest for Obi-Wan, kind of?
No, you can't
No,
have
I
that
don't
in Star
think
Wars.
so, no.
Yeah,
maybe not.
can't have it.
I think the
Jorge-
character was okay.
Ortiz for 5 says they
They
fly
fly
now,
now.
and that is correct. They fly now. All right. So he's found his secret person. We meet this robot who I think they wanted us to buy toys of. I don't want a toy of him.
Oh, he was so bad.
I want a Lola toy. The
You want a
little-
Lola toy? Lola was
Yes.
all right. I did think Lola was cute. And oh my God, Darth Vader's here! Oh my God! All right, so this is the first time in what 40 years since Vader has encountered Obi-Wan in the media.
No, 10.
In our lifetimes, in this
17.
world, 10.
17.
I meant for us though, the audience. When's the last? When did
17.
the new Hope?
17.
Yeah, I guess we saw him
Revenge
in
of
the
the Sith.
cartoon do it. I don't know.
2000.
Revenge of the Sith, 2005.
Okay, okay, yeah, sure. Was it 2005 Revenge of the Sith came out?
Yep.
Yeah.
17 years since we've seen these two characters. Can you believe that's
Jesus
a terrible freeze frame?
Christ.
Hold on. And they're gonna have a little battle where Obi-Wan gets his ass kicked because he's
This is the
Stumbly,
worst
bumbly old
choreography
man.
for a lightsaber ever made.
Ever. This was so bad.
It was bad. It wasn't choreo. I'm
Not
being surprised if they had a
Obi-Wan's
choreographer.
character's poor. Like he's so. I understand
editing.
Greg was like, I want my character to be down, and we have to bring him back up. But no, this is so dumb.
Vito, go to the beginning of that fight. You'll see Obi-Wan run to one direction and show up in the same place he started from.
And I do
Yeah,
believe
that
we
was,
missed the
let's
super
see.
chat.
Is this the beginning?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get to the super chat in a second.
Just making sure.
He runs away
Right
from
here.
Vader when he sees him. No,
I bet I can't see anything on this show. The only thing you can see is when
It's
the
just
lightsaber
dark.
show
I think it's
up.
before that, bro.
It's so dark. It's before this?
Yeah, I
This
think
is
so.
Okay,
also
all right.
edited
Hold on.
terribly.
Right here.
So he's walking along, having some fun. Oh,
There
what's
he
that
is.
over there?
Check the
Oh
back
my
of-
God! Oh, it's Darth Vader.
It's actually his penis.
And now Obi-Wan, as a Master Jedi, can only
Yeah,
do
right.
is going to react with cunning and
That's like what
bravery,
the lightsabers are, though. They're like metaphors for penises, right?
pretty much. So Obi-Wan's got his
Does he open
lightsaber.
it or does he run? There's a part where he runs.
Yeah, he's about.
He's thinking about what to do.
Giggling.
He's like, should I fight him? And he's like, no, I'm out.
Okay, so he runs this way,
Unironically
right?
hilarious shot.
And then he come. It's like he shows up back on the same place.
Yep.
He comes right back.
You know, editing.
Because
Yeah.
they only
I
have
actually-
one set.
This
I
is
noticed
the
that
first
exact
moment
thing
we get these.
yesterday when I
We
watched
literally left these two with Obi-Wan leaving him to die right on that planet.
Dude, don't
So
even get
much
me started
anger
on
and everything,
Qui-Gon's return.
And this is how we got like the return. This whole scene was a joke.
Okay,
It
I'm
looks
really
like they're in a quarry somewhere. They just
Hold
found
on.
It's like they used to do at Doctor Who. They just found some random quarry and they're like, this looks good enough.
Yeah, well, they can't build every set. Or I don't know if this is on their like virtual reality set with the green screen all around them. I think it might be.
It looks like they went to one of those places where they sort rocks and sell them in bulk or whatever. I don't know what the fuck those
The rock
places are
shop.
called, but you know what I'm talking about. They're
Quarry?
everywhere.
Quarry?
It's just a place where they'll have the whole pile of wood chips, and then they'll have a whole pile of certain type of rocks here and there. I don't know. Maybe that's a Midwest thing, but
Yeah, everybody keeps
yeah.
yelling
It
at
looks
me
like
for-
yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, it looks like they found like a rock quarry and
yeah,
shot it there.
straight up.
Rob
Space
Dingle
rock
says, "Can we get a panel vote after discussing for an hour? Do you still think it was a good show? I think you've proven how lazy and uninspired it is. I don't know. My barometer for television though is I just go, yeah, it's TV. Most TV shows are
Oh, fuck you, Vito.
a lot worse
It's
than this.
Star Wars.
Yeah, but
This
it's
is Darth Vader's return with Ewan
Dude,
McGregor.
are you watching The Boys?
This should have never been a TV show.
Oh,
Has
Okay, so
anyone's
that's our first
opinions
vote.
changed since we started talking about the show? Anyone?
No, I
think
still think I
everyone-
did a great job making
Yeah,
it.
Solidified it.
Oh shit! I meant to
No, they have
boost
not.
John, but I removed from the
they have
stream.
not changed.
So does everybody hate it?
No. Rhea likes it,
I
right?
don't
Yeah,
hate it.
I'm thinking of this show as a complete product, as if all 6 episodes were a finished film.
Also,
Yeah,
can I
so
say
that's-
this?
totality
That's saying very good
likes it.
things about my
And I-
my project, right?
And I think Mean Words, you also like it, right?
Yeah, if you were to show a newbie the series in chronological order, episodes 1, 2, 3, and then I guess Kenobi would be next. I think it works on those grounds. The problem is when you overthink it and Sarah's cherry picking from later events or it's derivative of Luke in The Last Jedi. Like I think it actually does what Luke's arc was in Last Jedi, just does it a lot better. But people resent it and they're calling him Jake Kenobi. It's like this is exactly the arc I thought this show would tackle regarding Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's exactly where you thought he would be after the events of Episode 3. The problem is that Last Jedi did it so badly, people think it's a mistake to try it again. I just think Kenobi's doing the arc.
It makes more sense for Kenobi, who watched literally every one of his friends die and everything he believed in fall down.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's been through way
come
more
from
than
this
Luke has.
place.
See,
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have a total problem with Vader. This show completely, to me, destroys Vader, and we never got to see Hayden become Vader. He's still Hayden Christensen. He's still Anakin. He's still Anakin in there, fucking up again, not as strong. And then Reva is such a forced and rushed character that I never felt connected to her, and I wanted to. I didn't think she was that great of an actress. I thought she was forced. And then baby Leia, who I was sort of enjoying in the beginning, also bad acting. It just overdid it, where it's like, wouldn't they have a better relationship afterwards? Plus the whole, like, is Reva going to murder Luke? I mean, there was no tension or anything interesting about that at all. It all felt just like Disney's like, we need 6 episodes. Oh, and Deborah Chow's like, well, guys, if we don't put fucking Vader in this, which is literally what happened, she's like, well, can we put Vader in this? Like, why are we doing the show without Vader? And then there was a bunch of arguments, and then they were like, fine, we'll put Vader in it. And then she's like, well, fuck, let's put Vader in twice because the fans are going to want to see Vader. And none of it felt earned, right, correct. It was just a Disney Plus once again overstuffing and shitting on Star Wars. Disney, if I have no idea, and now we have this moment that made no fucking sense. Why did Darth Vader not kill him with the Force when an explosion came? This is the dumbest play I've ever.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Can I jump
go
in
ahead
for a
John.
second?
Defend your show.
Okay, number one, I want to ask you guys, because a lot of you guys, you've built entire careers off of watching Star Wars.
Yes.
Do you guys think that you're maybe a little too close to this shit?
Dude, I don't do Star Wars anymore. I'm the Johnny Depp channel. I phased out of Star Wars. Enjoy it as a fan. I'm watching this as a fan, and I was so disappointed. It's just a person who was like, "Well, why do we need this?" I really think you guys,
For
not
money,
maybe you guys,
Andy.
a lot of people are distracted by
Darth
the fan
Vader
service,
again.
and they
That's-
lose
We gotta see
sight
Darth
of
Vader.
was this really
Here-
necessary?
You can go to
And-
Comic-Con though and see Darth Vader, like in cosplay.
Here's what I'll say on this. Like, it was fine. Like, yeah, you overanalyze it and it gets bad. But you know what? My kids liked it and they had fun. So what else?
Fuck that
it's
excuse.
it's a fucking kid show.
Just our kids.
Star Wars? Okay, wait. Hold on. Star Wars is not. Hold on a second.
My kids like garbage.
It's a kid
too. We
show.
need better
It's
than
a-
this.
Hold on.
It's a kid
Star
show.
Wars is not for kids. Star Wars is for the family, and I'll give you the proof. Last year, co-creator of Star Wars, the real co-creator of Star Wars, not Kathleen Kennedy or Rick McCallum or Lucas, I Want to Sell Toys, came out and cried after she saw the first prequel movie, and that's Marcia Lucas. She co-created Star Wars with George Lucas. Lucas broke up with her, or they broke up.
She
Lucas
cheated on him
made
with the Carpenter. That's
prequels.
okay.
He blamed it on the kids. He goes, "Oh, it's for kids." It's not. It's his excuse because kids can't defend themselves. Kids don't like Star Wars like they like Toy
Let me go to Pete. Pete, you got something you want to add here?
I would say that this shows what a crime it is, the results of Star Wars Solo, a Star Wars story, because how Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm interpreted that was that people were tired of Star Wars in general. So they took all their great movie scripts they've been putting together for the Solo film, and they're like, let's turn it into a show. Let's take a 2-hour movie and let's stretch it to 6. And you can see it. It's just making TV and making movies are so different fundamentally in the way the money is dished out and the way you edit and handle it. If this was a movie, there are many moments in the show, you put them together, you got a solid product. But as a streaming show, where so often what you're selling is just something to barely keep your attention, and it really just matters how many eyeballs we get it, not tickets sold. I think that's all the problems that's here. I think in some ways maybe Disney did try more than they usually do, at least more than Boba Fett. But I still think we're just seeing a lot of the limitations of this format, of the technology they're using. And, I would hope to get more, but I think many Star Wars fans, as critical as we've often been, we're just like happy to get anything at this point.
Are you guys
I don't
just
like that
pissed
attitude
that-
though. I've never liked that mantra. Like, any Star Wars is good Star Wars. That's such a pessimistic, glass half full, glass half empty approach. To
Are you
Star
guys
Wars.
just
Like, Star Wars
pissed that
should be
Disney
good.
owns it?
Are we just pissed?
No,
I still am.
I was excited at first because
too.
the MCU was pretty dope when they first
Me too.
bought it, and now everything is transforming into the same fucking thing.
Yes.
It's like I had so many vibes of the end of WandaVision with the end of Obi-Wan, because they have this character, this lady, who something bad happens to them, so then they go and they be a horrible person, and then because reasons we're supposed to be sympathetic to them, and they act like they wrap everything up, and I'm just like, no,
You know Reva?
it's so weird. Yeah, Reva. I'm talking about Reva. And then
Yeah,
at the
she
end of
killed
Scarlet,
kids, cut people's hands off.
yeah, she's terrible. She's
Well, we're-
irredeemable.
Hey,
Someone-
And not only
let's
that,
go-
Vito,
Like Wanda. Let's
Real
call out
quick-
Wanda too.
Yeah,
Another irredeemable.
the end of WandaVision, they kind of
If we
fixed
go down
that
the
in
Wanda
Doctor
train, we're gonna be here
Strange
forever.
movie. Oh,
Vito,
yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say, if Star Wars was for kids, they wouldn't have had that speech for 45 minutes of the Phantom Menace about trade embargo blockades, okay? It's not for kids.
Lucas doesn't know what kids like. He thinks
Well,
kids
he
like
blames them when he
speeches.
makes shitty product. George Lucas is the fault at all this
Well,
crappy Star
The
Wars.
other,
Here's
well,
what-
the other
Here's what I'm gonna
massive
say. Let me
fault
talk
is
on
that-
my show for 2
No.
seconds.
we don't want to.
Well, but Vito, the other main problem is,
Yeah.
and then they also said so eloquently, Deborah Chow, I think, is solid, but she's not a good feature director. And I think she turned this into a television show out of the use of Mandalorian. And there were moments throughout this show. I think it was the episode where the ship's getting shot at. And then they'd have like these CW moments where everyone would just calm and have long dialogue about the feelings that they're having. It didn't feel cinematic anymore. A lot of these shows are starting to feel like we're stuck in the volume and we have to have moments of dialogue. And then there's going to be a big action scene that's not well choreographed or thought out. And then we'll do to this. And the show is starting to show its wear of like,
well, I want to talk about all that
and focus on good stories. If they had made a 2-hour Obi-Wan movie for Disney Plus, that was cinematic and well done, I think it would have been fire. We all would have been happier, but they're stretching everything through Marvel, through Disney, everything. That it's so frustrating to watch Disney. We just need a new show every week. We don't give a shit if it's good.
It's
here's what I want to say real quick is I know we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to keep anyone hostage. I think the show we are going to keep going because I'm having a lot of fun. But if anybody needs to dip out, I want you to know that this is your chance to exit gracefully.
And if you don't do it right now, you're stuck here for another 3 hours when we talk about the entire rest of the series.
Yo, and try to look at Vito with a couple super chats.
Could be a good intermission.
We're not even halfway through talking about this.
I know. We're going to go through everyone's jumping ahead. I got a ton of comments for like the last couple episodes. So if you're thinking about a certain scene, I promise we're going to get to it because I think going through it bit by bit, we're hitting a lot of good points. But is everybody...
I'm 100% gonna bow out. That's a great idea. All right,
John.
Thanks,
real
Vito.
quick, let me give you a plug before you leave, John. John, of course, you can find him over at John Delarose on YouTube. Yes,
that's my name.
And don't forget to check out his new comic book, Overmind, now available on Kickstarter.
It's been bought by Disney and will be turned into a really shitty TV show. And
I'd be okay with that because I'd make money off of it.
Exactly.
So,
John is a fantastic writer. Almost everything I've read by
the
him
leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, the #1 best-selling and award-winning author, John Delarose. Thanks for joining us, John.
Thanks so much, and thanks, Pete. Appreciate that.
Thanks
See you guys
for coming by. Does anybody else need to go, or are we getting back into this thing?
Let's get back in.
Vito, real quick, Fernandez T, bro. Look.
Fernandez who?
Look at their chat.
Oh, did we just get a chat because I'm not paying attention?
We got two of them.
Hold on.
There was one for 5, and then there was
one. Let's see here. Robin Helliker for 5 says, I hope they bring up the scene where Obi-Wan and Vader Crackmask are talking. One shot, Obi has no blue or red anymore. We are going to talk about that CGI. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I linked. I thought we were going to bring it up earlier. I linked to a few articles about this.
I got them. I'm going to save them for when we get to that final episode. 2 Tim for 5 says, after all this Disney Star Wars, how can anyone say the prequels are worse? I still think the prequels are. I think the prequels are worse.
It's the worst Star Wars ever.
Rise of Skywalker is clearly worse than any of it. And we had a beautiful super sticker from Fernandez T. And if I go on over to YouTube, I would be able to see. What is the sticker? Someone tell me. I can't see it because I don't have YouTube brought up.
It is a avocado dancing and says, thanks for being you.
Oh, well, thank you for the super sticker, Fernandez T, which I can't see. Sorry about that. We also, if anyone wants to donate on Cash App, in the description is my Cash App. I'm trying to use that more as well. And I will refresh that as the show goes.
The prequels were better, though, because you get a sense that something big was going to happen. Now with the sequels, you're like, oh, my God.
All right, so real quick, let's get through this. This is the first Vader Obi-Wan fight. He levitates Obi-Wan into the air, sets the ground on him on fire. Obi-Wan is destroyed, and then Vader kind of gets like bored and leaves, is what I remember.
No, the dumb robot comes in.
I thought this was going to be how they explained why Obi-Wan has like white hair in the future, like he burned all the shit out of him and fucked up. Yeah,
he got ash in his hair and just never washed it.
Yeah. Well, no, like it burned all his follicles away, and he's like, he comes out of it
bald,
looking all
not gray,
scraggly, and half his hair is missing. He's like, God damn, that Jedi fire that Sith fire sucks.
It was very stressful.
I was enjoying the show, man, until this part, and then after I was like, oh, this is suckage.
Really, this was what?
I'm with Lewis. Like I really was waiting, but then I was like, oh wait, no, I didn't want this.
Because look at the way he gets away, dude. Look at this.
It's so
it's almost like
it comes out of nowhere.
It's almost like Vader forgot what happened to himself.
Look, it's fire. It's cool.
Random fire thing to make it.
Stormtroopers
clearly
not
can
shooting.
use the Force around fire. So why would this have stopped anything?
He caused the
he's
fire.
like, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let Obi-Wan burn for about 4 seconds and then force push him out of it. It's like, do you not remember what happened to yourself? Like, you got fucked up, buddy. Back in the
I
day.
think part of it
For
too,
one,
though, is
thank you, Sora, Kara Froman for 10. Monday Night Grift is always a good time. Thank you.
What's up, Kara?
Hi, Kara.
Go ahead, Rhea. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. I was just going to say that I read this scene personally as Obi-Wan sort of still being in shock that Anakin is still alive, or not realizing that Anakin is no longer who this person is that he's getting tortured by. And then that scene in the fire, I read it, me personally, as like him just sort of accepting that this is his fate and accepting the, long drawn out torture that Vader wants to put him through. And I think Vader purposely let him go because he wants to draw out, this anguish that he himself continues to go through in his mind because of Obi-Wan.
Right, like every good bad guy.
God, I wish I loved it as much as she just did. I didn't buy any of that.
No, and if you love it, keep loving it by all means.
Good for you.
Yeah.
This was my takeaway. Sorry to interject on my own show.
We don't want you to.
9 people.
Sorry to interrupt everyone on
Vito,
on the channel named her after me. I understood it as Vader being like, kind of having like an Anakin moment and being like, man, am I really just gonna kill my mentor? Like, is this really what I want to do? And kind of like he has the opportunity to end it, but he kind of wavers. Like, this is like there's still some Anakin left in him. But maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Can I say my
because he's just watching the robot save Obi-Wan right now, right?
I think it's because like Obi-Wan's the only thing that gets him out of bed in the morning for the past 10 years. So it's that phrase, who am I without my enemy? Or who am I?
It's like Joker can't kill Batman, and Batman can't kill Joker.
It's like, what's he gonna do with the rest of his life if Obi-Wan's dead? And there's also this idea I had about like Hook. Remember in Hook, great movie.
Yeah.
And Captain Hook finally meets Peter Pan, and he's like, I don't want to kill this version of you. Like, go to the gym, and I'll see you in 3 days, or a week or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
see,
I
that's
want to
all
fight
good.
the real version of Peter Pan.
They needed some dialogue to emphasize what they're going for here, I think.
Or maybe they realized they had 3 more episodes of this dog shit show.
Yes.
You haven't even seen it.
I have a lot of friends who infuse. You shouldn't have to imbue the show with your own imagination, and the show should basically do it for you. But a lot of people think kind of the same things about Vader's motivation and why did he let him live. And everyone's got, not everyone, but a lot of my friends have good ideas and good instincts. It's just the show should do it too.
The show should kind of tell you why didn't you kill Obi-Wan when you had the chance? And you can have a great little character moment where he goes, I cannot kill, he was not worth it at that point. He's like a bug in the dirt. When he gets back to his full time, then I will destroy my true master, and not this pale imitation of who he once was. That would have been great. We didn't get that, though. We have no idea why he let him
You
live
just wrote it better, Vito. They have to, without all this dumb saving, Vader crushes him. You are not even worth my time. You have, if he had just spoke,
my master is already. He should have said, "My master is already dead."
Just left him there to die and walked away.
Like, you are pathetic.
I would have been way more into it.
That's good. It's like Anakin and Obi-Wan both died on the banks of Mustafar.
I was just going to add too that I think part of Vader takes pleasure in knowing that he can best his master in any situation. But I do like y'all's theory about he wants to face his former master at his best. So that's why
as he was, as he is.
Well, that's why I wish he could have had that sort of line, because one problem I had with the show is that Vader doesn't really get a win. Like, it kind of feels like the legacy of Vader is just always losing to Obi-Wan, never. Like, this would have been great if this was a definitive Vader. I mean, I guess it is kind of a win, but because Obi-Wan gets away, you don't really know, did Obi-Wan outsmart him in the end? Or it would have been great if Vader's like, no, I let him go. I won that fight. I destroyed him. He's nothing to me now.
If you add the sparring session, which is great, Obi-Wan wins again, and then obviously in the conclusion, Obi-Wan wins again. So Obi-Wan really has
too much of Obi-Wan.
Vader's got to win. Yeah, he's got to win something at once at least.
All right. And then at the end of the episode, my favorite character, radar technician Steve, dies. And at that point,
so someone mentioned that looks just like Ryan Johnson, and I can't unsee it now.
They killed Ryan Johnson. Too bad we can't see anything because the show's as dark as sin. All right. We finally made it past episode 3 into episode 4.
Now we're getting into the good stuff. All right.
This plotted a mission. This is the good stuff. Yeah, John, this is where your team really started taking it seriously.
What? Yeah, this is when the first 3 episodes were just warming everybody up to
we're just goofing
the rest of the
around a little bit.
series, you know, introducing some characters like that stupid little baby and
Baby Leia.
Yeah, whatever.
John, you and your writing team did a fantastic job.
We really like this scene with the puddle that he's in or whatever.
The puddle.
Yeah.
The puddle. Is that
all right, so Obi-Wan gets his ass kicked. Where's Baby Leia? We took her to that triangle. Same triangle. Sometimes the triangle can extend, I guess, to let spaceships in. Okay, I don't know. Or is that whatever? Why am
It's
I
a butt
obsessed with
plug.
There's too many triangles in Star Wars, I'm gonna say. So Reva comes in, and
They're
now
a symbol of power.
As was the
Triangle.
criticism, is how is this different from A New Hope? Leia is being interrogated by a person, Grand Moff Tarkin or Reva or whatever, and is eventually going to be kidnapped and has to be saved by Obi-Wan Kenobi and a scrappy group of rebels.
I don't
kind of
like
the same.
I don't like how clean the baby is. She's
The
been
baby
walking,
Leia?
Yeah, she's been walking around the desert.
Is that Ice Cube?
Oh, the Empire makes. Are you kidding me? All the Empire guys are super like clean. They're probably like, you got to take 10 showers before you come in here.
Oh, well.
They don't get any dirty people in the Empire. They won't allow it. Then we get. This is where I think the show looks the worst. Is when they're clearly filming in their green screen room, and then there's like crappy fake caves and shit. And I'm like, this.
Well,
just
that's
looks
on
terrible to me.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
we
that
did-
planned, John?
Yeah, we at the time, you know, we thought, fuck these morons. We'll make this look however the fuck we want.
Fuck these morons is the official line from Disney Star Wars. All right, so we got to infiltrate the triangle. Luckily, my friend is still
Tala.
Tala is still an Empire spy. And here, let's take a look at some now. A lot of what we've been arguing about is Reva's acting convincing? And here's a good scene where Reva is going to interrogate the little baby Leia. Let's see.
Burned to death on Mapusa. The people I'm looking for left him there to die. If you tell me where the path is, you can go home to your family. This can all be over.
I don't know anything about a path.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's think a little bit harder, shall we?
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
We had to cut out
right.
the waterboarding scene.
Waterboarding baby Leia.
Waterboarding
Yeah,
10-year-old.
Disney was not happy about us waterboarding.
Then he thought pretending to drown a toddler was a bit much.
That
All
was-
right, I don't know, man. Like, I know what they're going for with her, but I'm just like, I don't
Dude,
know.
this
I guess
is the
it's
second time
fine.
she gets caught in the show.
Who? Leia?
Leia. And it's like
She's
those
a
Yeah,
baby.
drunk-
she's 6. She's a baby. What is she gonna do?
Yeah, but what is, dude, how does Darth okay, look, how does Darth Vader not know that this is happening inside the fortress he controls, man?
Does he
Hey,
control
he's-
the Inquisitor
Yes,
fortress?
nothing gets past Vader, dude.
I think plenty gets past. He's got all sorts of shit going on. He's got to like
He's
press
a
all his
busy
buttons in
man.
the morning to
Yeah,
figure
he's
out.
gotta
Those
turn
two
himself on.
stormtroopers,
Hey,
those
the-
two
all-
stormtroopers would have said, by the way, he's got Senator Organa's child in there, and they're interrogating her. And
But I
they're
think he
about
doesn't care that they have Senator. Does he care? that they
Yeah,
have Senator
because
Organa's child?
that's the hook for Obi-Wan. Senator Organa is a big deal in the Senate, man.
Either way, I was upset that we almost got
Same
them
thing
to
I do to
water bird this little girl, and then we see a bunch of Jedi bodies in this. I don't
In the
know.
carbonite chamber.
A lot of
Well,
questions
yeah, but
there.
not carbonite
Is that,
necessarily.
are they
Yeah.
dead or are they alive?
It's
or is
Amber from Jurassic
They got to be
Park.
dead. I think they're dead.
Or is this
It's a
Disney
mystery
saying-
box. We'll never know.
Is this
Obi-Wan.
Disney saying, you know, if we want to bring back any of these characters later?
Well, that's the thing is they kind of left it ambiguous because if they do decide, you know what, we do want to like
Well, at
have
least
that
Obi-
be somebody.
Obi-Wan
my
thinks
question-
they're dead. He says it's a
Okay,
tomb.
I did have a question about that. Let me see. Okay, so
Yeah.
I got some questions
Uh-huh.
because the
I'm
first
here
the
to
first,
answer them.
the first Jedi to die, right? The first shut up, Sean. The first Jedi to die were the ones in like the temple, like the little kids, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this was like, did they already build a facility and they were like ready for Jedi corpses, or what? Like, did Vader kill a kid and then he looked at the kid's dead body and he went, "Huh?
We gotta freeze that.
Can you grab that one kid?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, grab him and grab his little stupid hat and
taxidermy his face, and then let's drop him in the goop. I want him to look spooky forever. Like
I want to
really
know if this
scared.
was make sure he looks really like spooked. Like freeze that for me. Like, was this a on the fly decision from Vader where he goes, "Why am I not collecting these motherfuckers? I could have them all."
Well, Vader does go goth for a little while before this series starts, and he likes spooky art.
Why do you
want
to have
a bad place after Mustafar? Let's put it that way. So,
I assume it's for some sort of experimentation or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there's a theory that the experimentation's for Snoke. Like they're experimenting on. That's why they seek Grogu or something later. Like they're just experimenting on Force-sensitive bodies.
No, I don't need Snoke explained.
I want the
I'm just saying.
I have a theory.
What's your theory, Rhea?
So you could totally call me out if this is like BS in your opinion. So I know
BS.
that. So
Whatever's gonna come
it
out
gives
of
me
your
like
mouth.
Vlad the Impaler vibes as far as like just impaling heads on spikes to intimidate your enemies. Maybe this is like an intimidation tactic to.
But who comes down here?
Yeah,
What
hit
is this,
them in the
like
face.
I don't know. Maybe like prisoners. Like, oh, you think you can best the Empire?
Rhea,
guess
you should
again.
be
I don't
writing
know.
these, man. Your idea is way beyond what they're trying to do.
I don't know if I got this one from Sora Loot, who says, "Use the Swartz." Correct, Sora Loot.
Did you?
And don't forget to share your opinions with us here on the panel by using the super chat function or the Cash App, and we'll be happy to make you part of the discussion.
Okay, so here's my question. Maybe I missed this when I was out taking care of the dogs.
Yeah.
Did you go through the part where he says the reason why the Inquisitorius doesn't have shields or has like really light security? Did you cover that?
No, do they make a mention of why it has
Yes,
light
they do.
security?
They say something. I have to look up the quote. They say something like it's so intimidating.
No
No
one
one ever would dare do it.
No one would dare go into the Inquisitorius. Yeah, look, they got a whole machine to put spikes in little girls' heads.
Yeah, I was gonna say if your building has your boss's large collection of fossilized
corpses and stuff.
yeah, you're gonna be like, yeah, maybe.
Oh man, I just
Maybe
had
like
I
a
just
security
had a
camera
joke
too.
in my head that I cannot say. I can't.
Good,
say.
good. Keep it there. I know
I'd
what's in
like
that
to
sick
apologize for comparing this to the Ewok movies because those were far better writing.
Oh, all right, come on. There's plenty to like about Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this lady comes in, tells a little lie, and says, "You gotta, I don't know," uses her spy trickery to. I guess this is
I like
water
the
outside.
sparks. The sparks
Yeah.
in place of blood. It's pretty cool.
And then
She hits a stormtrooper right there, like slaps them, and then they fall.
bam, Obi-Wan killing some stormtroopers. But it is very A New Hope. He even does. This is the first time we see him. He's hiding behind a thing, and he uses the Force to make a noise off in the distance so the stormtroopers go and investigate it. I'm like, this is just the Death Star all over again. I mean, was this his trial run on the Death? Is this why he's so down for a Death Star or whatever? He's like, yeah, we can handle this.
He
doesn't know what
his
it is
mojo.
for.
He gets his mojo back in this episode, and I don't know, doesn't really explain
Yeah,
why.
for a lot of people, this was like a return to form to General Kenobi. Like, we got 3 episodes of PTSD Kenobi, dissociative state, all this other stuff, and
Do you
then now
think
he's
that-
snapping back into who he
Do you
truly
think?
is.
Do you think
Yeah,
the
and
transition's
throughout
smooth, or
the
is it
end-
like they should have explained it more, or just it's okay as is?
I like that idea that he's snapping out of who he is, but then he turns off the lightsaber and starts using the blaster again, which means we're putting more into the storyline than the actual writers are. Here he forgets about his lightsaber again. It was doing so well.
And
Takes
your
out his
point, though.
blaster.
His genius.
He was
plan.
hard the entire time filming this too.
Well, I like
Yeah, he's
here
really
that he's
getting into
he's
the role.
running the the Vincent Adultman 3 kids in a
Like,
trench
this is-
coat thing.
Nobody knew, like even on set, nobody knew who he was. It was such a good disguise.
This was really bad. He turns around. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
I think,
bro,
I think
you're
he just
not
got
selling
sniped.
the illusion here. Who got? Oh, we got what?
The stream is unavailable.
Oh shit! Because I played too much Obi-Wan.
YouTube's on to
You
you.
played a lot of Obi-Wan.
Even
All right.
Obi-Wan.
But I
YouTube
tried to
doesn't
skip
want to watch
around. All right,
If
hold
you
on.
if you pause for a minute, I've had this happen to me.
Yeah,
it'll come back.
It'll
Yeah.
come back. Everybody relax.
And a lot of times the stuff we're doing right here will be restored. I found because I flipped out on
Stream
camera.
unavailable.
You could just
Watched
clip
it
it
later.
afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody in the chat that it'll come back.
Who knows what the YouTube gods desire? They're noble.
Wait 1 minute for the copyright ID to pass.
Dude,
I would
honestly,
just go to us instead of the video, just Vito.
yeah, don't even show it anymore. It doesn't deserve it.
No, we gotta go through it. I can't play too many. I can't play more than like 5 seconds at a time, basically. But I should just skip around to the what do you call it? I'll skip around when it's
They
paused.
come and after this, they come and rescue them with speeders who only hold 2 people, except there's
Hold on,
5
is
of
it
them.
back yet, or are
Nope.
we
Still
burning
unavailable.
content?
This is kind of long. Take that off the screen, Vito.
All right.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's just a bunch of people having a fun discussion.
Are we back? Can you see our ugly faces?
Not yet.
Aside from Rhea?
Played too much footage.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks.
Prepare screenshots next time at Disney Plus. Oh my god.
Too many cooks. Too many. You guys remember that one? That was a good one.
I do remember that one.
Yay, we're back.
We are back.
Okay.
Nominated. Oh, there's
We are back.
and then
Too
shut
many
down
replays coming.
William Street Entertainment.
Honey, I think that's not true. Well, maybe too many cooks will spoil the broth.
Everyone's got a. All right. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna get struck from that. That's copyrighted too. Whoever's playing that, we're gonna have another strike. All right, here's the deal. If I play more than 5 seconds of footage, the Disney copyright robot gets really mad. So I'm gonna try my best to not play extended periods of footage. We were doing a pretty good job there for a while, and then I got risky with it, and I played too much footage, and the copyright robot hit us. We lost 50 people, but those people were losers.
Fuck those people.
Hilliker donated $2. Robin Hilliker, another with a $2 F dono train.
Keep those $2 coming,
Keep
folks.
the
You're
app
watching
train
Vito
going.
get the channel shut down because he wants to review Obi-Wan. So step the hell up. and
Put
throw a
$2
couple
in the
dollars.
bucket.
One of you
Come
want to
on.
hear you pay, baby.
This
Come
may
on,
be
dude.
Vito's last stream ever, so please super chat him so like he has money for food as he's homeless.
Guys, I've been filming myself getting assaulted for NFT crypto art, and frankly, it is not paying the bills. Okay, so hold on. Is this where the planes come in? I do have to say, I do have to play this. Okay, this I was like,
do we?
I have to play this part.
Okay.
How did these ships not crash into the wall? Tell me. Here they come. Here they come.
That's not how the Force works.
Da, 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 smash right into the wall. There's no way they made a turn there. No way. They're like right up against the wall.
Everything's so
And then
sloppy
they
in the
backed
show.
up. They just backed out perfectly.
They can't back out.
They're magical space vehicles. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
No, shut up. You don't know.
What are those TIE fighters
Yeah,
for
and
anyways?
it didn't the people bring up the point that how do they fit all these people in a fucking snow speeder that's has 2 seats in it, and they're flying from the sky? I think Red Letter Media. I'm not going to steal their observation, but it's just they just need you to not think at all or remember anything.
This is also another example of stormtroopers are the most easily distracted troops in the world. Like if you put something shiny in the air, they'll be like, "Everybody, turn and look at it," and you're like, "Oh no, just shoot Obi-Wan." Be like, "I don't care about what else is going on. I'm just gonna do my job and kill this guy and whatever." But okay, it's a video game.
We completely overlooked the last episode where they just let Obi-Wan go with the worst lie possible when he accidentally name drops Leia. Remember that?
Oh, we
And he's
skipped
like-
that whole scene. Oh, we got sniped again.
And the stormtroopers
Wait, did
like,
we?
oh,
Yeah.
He's like,
"What the hell?"
I think this scene specifically is really
He's
like just
it's like,
images
listen,
from
Leia,
it.
we don't. Oopsie. And they go.
Yeah.
like,
Okay,
"Yeah,
well,
you
hold
should've-"
on, because we just got stream sniped because I'm an idiot. All right, I guess I will not play any more footage, and I will only pause it.
God damn.
Dude, someone could be reporting it too. So
I'm sure it's some haters.
I think it's automatic. This shit it hits.
Yeah, it might just be this scene in particular. They have like queued into the copyright system.
This
Because everybody's making fun of it.
If I watch a trailer twice, like I'll rewind a trailer just to watch it again, and then it'll hit me. Then it's all, you know. It's
all right. Well, I have it paused now, so it'll just be stills.
We're back.
Just stills. Are we back?
Paused
now.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. All right. So I can't play any footage.
Pineapples.
This is which is stupid.
Are we back?
Now.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I hear myself twice. Why don't I hear myself? Okay. All right. Yeah, we're back in it. Okay, we've moved on to episode 5. We're almost at the end of this. Episode 5. Now Reva has made Leia's little robot is now
Lola.
a spy. It's a spy robot. As Derek Kinney says, that sad little mouse droid. They did do a good job with Leia's little sad droid.
that thing's cute.
It is cute. They made it cute. Robin says, F again. Robin keeps donating $2 every time we go down. I should just keep crashing my stream and collecting $2
So nice.
from her every
You'll
time.
be rich
From Robin. Or him. I guess Robin could be a man name. Okay. So now Obi-Wan has escaped. And we get this little scene throughout this episode of Obi-Wan fighting Hayden Christensen. Let's see if we can somehow go frame by frame. Show me Hayden. Oh, there he is. Oh, damn it.
You're
There
playing
he
with
is.
fire.
I am playing with fire. I'm probably going to get copyright struck for this. Yeah, I don't know why. Why did they not de-age him at all? It's weird.
So, like, to mean words, I think you touched on this earlier, where we, as the audience, we have to make a lot of, like, you know, we have to fill in the gaps a little bit. And I think for this scene, it's up for interpretation as far as if it's really a flashback or if it's just this weird illustrative, like,
it's in his mind.
Like just to show how their relationship is.
My theory is that I don't think that Ewan McGregor requires any de-aging, whereas Hayden does, and perhaps they were too embarrassed to do it to one and not do it to both. I think Hayden looks good for his age, but he's not 19. He's supposed to be.
He
like
definitely
19,
looks good for his age, but yeah, he's definitely not 19.
He's 40. That's a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Other than like just not hurting his feelings, I guess, because
They definitely changed Obi-Wan's mullet. They gave him more of a Sasquatch look in this one.
Well, this is Attack of the Clones era.
Yeah, he had a mullet. It's the worst hair ever.
It was much more Prince Valiant in Attack of the Clones.
Well, I had another problem with this. Again, I keep bringing up how Obi-Wan keeps winning every fight. Anakin clearly won this fight. He takes away Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and he's like, "Okay, I guess I won." Obi-Wan's like, "Yeah, but what if I, was flipping around on the floor and I was doing this?" He's like, "Okay, I mean, I guess you could do that." Like, it was kind of just like, and then he goes, "See, I actually won." And I'm like,
I don't
really,
get that.
Obi-Wan.
I don't get it. I don't get that scene.
I guess he's just trying to illustrate that Anakin's too impulsive, but
Check this out. Check this out.
Yes.
Reva and Obi-Wan talking to each other when there's like 500 stormtroopers 3 feet away. Yeah, hey, we're gonna get Vader, aren't we? Right? Yeah.
All these guys are standing there with their guns at the ready, watching as their boss has a whisper conversation through the door. I know a little secret,
and they shot at it.
I was a little kid.
I'm not really a bad guy.
And then they shot at the wall, right? They shot at the wall with everything but a Death Star, and then she just cuts through it with a lightsaber. Why did she do that from the beginning?
Well, I wish I. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Sorry.
They could have at least like built up, like showing like some kind of hesitation. I guess that would like screw up the big reveal that everyone called in the first episode. But like just to do something to make it seem like she isn't just willingly just mangling people and just killing a bunch of innocent people out of just request for revenge.
I think they use the Force to talk to each other, man. It's like.
Also, I want to have a forced conversation. Okay, who's talking? Mean words?
I hate it when characters don't defend themselves when they easily could. So in this instance where Obi-Wan, she says, "You didn't do anything. What did you do?" It's like, bitch, I'm the reason why he's in that suit. But he doesn't say that. Like, she's not aware that they fought each other on Mustafar, and he doesn't say it when he easily could and say, "I did. Okay?
I tried.
I did stop him, and I thought I actually won." But
well, I guess she was trying to say, like, how did you not sense he was going to turn? Which you could say, like, didn't you notice he was hanging out with, there were signs, like, when he cut off Dooku's head, Shouldn't Obi-Wan have been like, hold on, there's a big red flag here?
And when he killed all
what
those
she said is that
babies.
She says
came
he
later.
went to the dark
I think he's
side.
still dealing with a lot of that guilt for, like, you know, being sort of an enabler for Anakin all through his life.
He could have stopped him earlier.
Someone
he should
needs
have
to put
noticed
Rhea
it
on the
times.
Disney writing team.
Someone
She's
was
saying,
like, she must work for Disney, and I'm like, nah, not quite.
She's saying,
I
like,
do though.
Hold on, let me
him go to
words
the dark
finish.
side. You let him go to the dark side, and then you just took off. But that's not true. He didn't just take off. But it's just like he doesn't defend himself because they need the story to still unfold as it needs to. And I just think that's bullshit writing. Like the character.
I think Obi-Wan blames himself for not being a good enough teacher, and that if he had tried harder, he could have prevented Anakin from turning to the dark side. Yeah, Lewis, you were going to say what?
Yeah, by the way, shout out to that set they're on. It looks like a reject from Land of the Lost, and I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the ones from the 60s. It's so bad, dude. Look at it.
Well, let's talk. Not this set. The cave
set where
set
she's
that they're
talking
in.
to the wall. Yeah, it's so bad.
Well, let's talk about this revelation that Reva was a youngling who watched Anakin, and I believe she gets stabbed. Right? She gets stabbed by Anakin and survives by playing dead. Or am I wrong?
I don't know if she's stabbed. She does hide in the pile, but I don't know.
Okay, so maybe she doesn't actually get stabbed. Although I thought there was like a flashback showing young her getting stabbed.
First, they just
later in
going
episode
towards her.
6 or
Yeah,
5,
yeah.
they get the. Is this 5? Yeah.
This is 5 and 6.
They will-
Do we see her getting stabbed? But maybe that's like in her mind.
In 5, Darth Vader, as he's about to approach her and stab her, she intercuts with Anakin
It could
doing
be.
it in episode
Yeah, it
3.
could be
It's at
something
the end of
she
this episode.
imagined. Anyway, so but here's what I don't understand about Reva's character. She goes, "They killed all my friends, so the best thing I can do is join a group of Jedi hunters, murder Jedi across the galaxy to get close to the one guy who killed all my friends." And does that character track? Like,
makes perfect sense. I don't know.
Like, she wants revenge so much that she goes, "I can't believe you'd kill all these Jedi. I'm gonna kill way more Jedi to get close to you and kill." Like,
I don't understand what's so funny about
feels
that.
a little bad.
Listen, this is like a whole ass like Shakespearean Hamlet inspired. Like, if y'all seen the Northman, this is dead ass the Northman that's happening right now in the
She's
story.
blind. She's so blind with revenge that she has abandoned all her. She's like, man, that guy who killed all those. I mean, I always make World War II comparisons, but it's like if a Jewish guy, you know, joined the Nazis, killed a whole bunch of Jews just so he could get close to Hitler. I don't know. I guess maybe that
I
makes
know
sense.
someone like
Yeah, but
that.
wouldn't
Who
she
do you know
have
like
more of
that? Wait, get out of here! No, he's still here. I keep pressing the wrong button for John, but it keeps
I don't
being
think
funny
I don't think these
regardless.
ideas are bad, but it doesn't like. She didn't have a plan to take out Vader. If she's spending her entire life, so this has been 10 years, and this is all she thinks about. What's her plan? She doesn't have a plan to take Vader down when she actually gets the opportunity.
Okay, you guys are forgetting one key part about this character, okay?
Okay.
What?
She is a woman, okay?
All right.
And she's been written as a woman.
So she's
Perfectly. I don't understand
unpredictable.
what your fucking
and
people
flighty.
are complaining about.
Oh,
all this plotting and platting, and her big finale to her plan is, I'm just gonna take a big telegraphed baseball swing with the lightsaber while screaming.
We're getting to that. Look, I do want to say though, it would be great if, again, I hate to write the show for them, if she goes, "Do you know how many people I've had to kill to get close to him? I've hated every moment of it. I'm not a killer, but I did what had to be done because if he isn't stopped, the galaxy will continue to suffer." Instead, it's just kind of like, yeah, you know, I kill a bunch of people because I'm really mad at Vader. It would be cool if she, because there's two ways to read it. Either that she's so selfish and dead set on revenge that she doesn't care the people she kills, or if she's like, I know it's bad, but it's for the greater good, which I think would make her a more interesting and sympathetic character, especially if you're trying to make a TV show out of her.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people still empathize and relate to Anakin, even though he had very narrow-minded, single, point of view, goals as well to take down Obi-Wan, in the same way that Reva has like single-minded goals to take down Vader. So
the thing is,
I see a lot of parallels between Reva and Anakin, to be totally honest.
That you're absolutely right, but unfortunately, the original Star Wars story, Darth Vader and Anakin were two different people. That whole like it's his father, thing is crowbarred in, because then what happens is you got a guy that blew up a planet, and then just redeeming himself and being the good guy. It doesn't click. Plus, you got brother and sister making out with tongue. So it's like,
which was hot. Stop taking away the best part of Star Wars, Lewis.
So it's weird because what makes Star Wars, a lot of what made Star Wars great, kind of like its downfall, like its toy sales, like ruins the storytelling. And then I'm Your Father is just like, it kind of ruins the story.
Why did Obi-Wan even?
Robin Hilliker has a question. Did Obi-Wan ever learn about the Tusken Massacre? I don't think Padme told him. I don't think he did ever learn about that.
Wrote this show, Remember the Tusken Man.
All right, so Obi-Wan and Reva have a little discussion. He goes, "Let's work together," and she goes, "No, I don't want to." And then Obi-Wan,
despite the fact that Obi-Wan's plan is actually pretty good, like when he says, he goes, "He'll be looking at only me. Like this is your time to strike," which is when she does.
Also, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, when she does do it, it's. I mean, maybe I'm 2 seconds ahead, but it's kind of she just chooses to lunge at Vader. I mean, maybe we can talk about it when we get to that moment, but it's like she could have done that at any moment in her career. You know what I mean?
Well,
like the whole point was that Obi-Wan's plan was like, he's going to be looking at me. You can do whatever you want to him because he's so obsessed with me, which is a good fucking
Not only
plan.
that, the execution is so weird because Obi-Wan is kneeling, handcuffed, and the next scene he's running into the cave. Did the stormtroopers just sit there and watch him run in, or what? How did he get him handcuffed? Like it's. Entire scene is strange.
There's a lot of simply running away.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Okay, not running around.
This is a nitpick for me, and I know it's a nitpick, but Star Wars droids are capable of doing way too many things. Leia's droid is supposed to be like a little kid companion fun droid, but you can reprogram it, and it has a cutting laser to like whatever make the hangar doors not work. Why is the Empire not using this for everything?
It's like a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, but how does it have all that stuff? Like R2-D2, it kind of makes sense that it has like a bunch of different gizmos and gears because it's like a whole thing. It's like this thing. It's like, yeah, not only can you contact it from across the galaxy inside your Empire ship, but then you can command it to fly through ventilation shafts and like disable stuff.
Remember, in Rogue
Why don't
One,
they
you
only
email the files? They had to get the USB stick.
Yeah, you can't email files in Rogue One. There's no way you can across the galaxy. Did she program it in ahead of time? Say, look, I don't know where you're going, but wherever you end up, fly into the ventilation duct when no one's paying attention and start randomly severing wires. Who's controlling the little droid robot?
Well, the droids are also sentient, right? So they have their own will
it's just
as well.
it's programmed for sabotage now. Why does a child's toy have a cutting laser inside it? Regardless, it doesn't make any sense.
It's a little dangerous.
Fun.
Leia doesn't realize that her toy suddenly has evil red eyes.
Yeah, well, okay, that I can excuse. That's a classic. When the robot turns evil in the movie, it turns its eyes red. That's for the audience.
She doesn't know. She doesn't notice that her.
She doesn't notice. Why is its eyes red?
I gotta think it was like more of like a protective companion because her parents know that she likes to run out into the forest on her own and
give
get
it a
herself
gun.
into trouble.
Have it just float around with a big
Give her a
gun
companion who
strapped
can
to the
help her
underside
out.
of it. I want that thing, but it's just got an entire blaster rifle turret underneath it. And, it didn't save her from when she was running through the forest. It didn't do shit.
It looks like it's sort of Mickey Mouse ears right there.
All right, so this is the big thing, is that Anakin always rushes in. If I play this, am I going to get clipped?
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
If I play anything? Oh, my God. Okay, so Darth Vader
That's a cool moment.
runs in to stop this spaceship. And he stops it, and it's pretty cool. And you're like, wow, that was cool. And it turns out there's a second spaceship behind it that's like way faster. I'm going to play exactly 2 seconds of it.
Nice.
Hold on. And he's like, fuck, I fucked up. All right, I guess I can't play it. Regardless, that other ship takes off wicked quick. It's kind of comical.
Yeah.
Goes, aw.
Makes no sense.
He's just like, yeah.
I goofed.
And
Is
then
that the real
Rebecca
one or is it the
try and
fake one?
stab him. Why didn't she stab him when she's pulling the ship?
Yeah, that's the other thing is that
This whole sequence is so dumb.
she's been planning for 10 years to kill Vader, and she decides the time at which she's pulling down a spaceship is my only chance. All right, you fucked it up. That's it. You fucked up. You spent 10 years doing this. And you couldn't. Why didn't you wait for him taking one of his baths or when he's in the chamber or he's, on the shitter or something?
Even Last Jedi got this right. And I don't give a lot of credit to that movie. At least if it was going to go with it, that's what you do.
I gotta
Or
think that
except-
this is
except-
one of the few times that Vader doesn't have any, stormtroopers or, security intel or things around him. He's off, base, so maybe she saw this as the most opportune moment.
Yeah,
for her.
but you got to remember the stormtroopers are outside. So and the last time we saw Reva, she had Obi-Wan on his knees, handcuffed. So what did she do? Let him go, let him run. Then Vader walked in. Then she went after Vader, and the stormtroopers have their fucking hand in their crotch. Like, what are they doing?
She should have accepted Obi-Wan's idea and brought her in the room with him. So
I
that
mean,
she
it would
could
have been
do what she's
like,
about to
why
do,
not
you know?
wait for Obi-Wan to be fighting with him, and then you're like, hey, there's
Yeah.
two of us. Oh my god! But I don't know. I understand she wanted to do it herself. It just kind of feels weird when a character's like, I've been secretly planning against Vader the whole time. Maybe this was the best moment because there's nobody else in the room, but I don't know.
If she
I
had
don't
done
know.
it,
Maybe it works.
15 seconds earlier, she probably would have gotten him.
Anyway, we get the big Reva Vader fight, and he
I like
goes,
this fight.
I knew you were trying to trick me. I'm not stupid. I did like when he's like, all right, here, he breaks her lightsaber too, and he goes, look, I'm gonna make this an even fight, and he tosses her one.
Thumbs up to that as well.
Yeah, so there was
This
some good
a
stuff
dope
here.
fight. That was a dope fight. That reminds me of Pai Mei versus Beatrix Kiddo and Kill Bill.
The only problem is that then Vader goes, time to play what's in the mystery box. It's your old boss. He's still alive. And he goes, I wasn't even dead, you dumb idiot. And then a guy who literally had gotten stabbed. Oh, okay, here we go.
That's the scene. That's the
Yeah,
scene
let
that
me
you were talking
see.
about earlier.
Does she? So
Yeah.
she remembered seeing him do that. And then did he stab
She
her?
walks up to him.
See, she remembers him stabbing towards her. So I don't know if she's already been stabbed before. Regardless.
I think it's just.
Well, it kind of matters because is this show about everybody just gets stabbed in the stomach and doesn't die? And then this guy who got stabbed in the stomach and doesn't die goes, now that you've been stabbed in the stomach, you're done for. Let's turn around and leave. And then they leave her after she got stabbed. And you're like, of course
Vito,
she's
you
still alive, you idiot.
You forgot one part, Vito.
What did I forget?
The Darth Fester tells
Yeah.
her, I stayed alive
Darth
because
Fester?
because of his anger and revenge. The hopes for revenge will keep a person alive. So he kind of like told her the way
But does he want her to live then?
I don't know, bro.
He mentions he makes this statement about her coming from the gutter like twice during the show.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna leave
part-
you where I found you in the gutter.
Yeah, part of me thinks like, they probably don't even think it's worth it to completely like eviscerate her at this point. Just leave her there.
I just don't totally buy it
Huge
because
liability.
if they have a little museum in Vader's basement of all the little kids he killed, I don't
Yeah.
understand why he lets Reva go. They're just like,
'Cause
yeah,
he's
he's
racist.
fine.
He's racist. He goes, I don't want any black Jedi in my museum.
No,
They
man.
go,
He adds
Vader.
her, he adds her
That's
to the
terrible.
museum. That's like a symbol of you betray me. That's what's going to happen to you. No one gets away.
It doesn't make sense for him to just leave her on the planet. And to be clear, this is where I think the show has a big episode 6. They're like, we don't know what to do with Reva. And I think they really
it took
dropped
you all the way to
ball.
episode 5 to figure that out, bro?
Well, no, I think that they had a pretty solid kind of idea of like, okay, she's a youngling who wants to kill Vader and has been doing everything she can to get close to her. And then in the last episode, there's a huge pivot, which makes no sense to me. Now she finds this. For some reason, Obi-Wan, for no reason, just starts dropping his shit everywhere.
No,
which I
he
didn't
gives
understand.
it to Jamil, whatever the guy's name is.
Why?
To hold, because he wants to go up against Vader with no weapons. So he gives all the
But
weapons.
I thought he gets his saber back from that guy. Is that what happens?
When they get back on the ship, yes. The
So he goes
problem is,
temporarily hold on to my lightsaber and then give it back
Yes.
to me 20 minutes later?
yeah, it's like
Okay.
Luke was asked not to go to the into the cave with
Yes.
weapons, and he did anyways. It's a Jedi thing. But here's what I would do though. I would, after this entire incident, send out to kill Bail Organa because Bail Organa is a liability to the future of the galaxy. He's a big mouth.
But he's a powerful senator. He has
It
friends.
doesn't
They don't
matter,
wanna-
dude. He
they don't wanna
sent
cause-
a transmission that says twins, Vader's kids, Tatooine.
I don't
Uncle
think it
Owen.
says Vader's
He
kids.
said that.
It didn't say Vader's kids in the thing,
see.
though, did it?
Yeah, he did.
It said the kids.
The twins must be protected from him.
From him, I don't know. He doesn't know. Well, that's the thing. They don't communicate. Does Reva know that Luke? I hope so. Is Vader's kid?
Yeah, I think it's in the message, but the leap is there's really no reason why she should know that it should be on Owen's property. Like she should not necessarily know to go to Owen's residence.
Though. It's because Bail Organa opened his mouth.
Hold on, I'm trying to not trigger the thing. Okay, it said Owen W. So there you go. We know exactly what it means now.
She met her in the first episode.
If she died, can I pitch that? If she died here, that would have been a far better arc for her character because.
Well, as Rob Dinkle says, if Obi-Wan hadn't dropped his cosmic cell phone, this is literally the end of Reva's arc. Yeah, it's kind of a. She would have just been like, I don't know what else to do. I have no other.
I think it would have been so impactful is because she's got like the revenge arc, which is revenge is long, it's patient, it's slow, and she waits her entire life for this moment. But the great thing about Vader is that. There's a lot of people throughout the galaxy who want revenge on Vader, and they're just never going to get it because he is Darth Vader. Like, you will not have your arc, essentially. And I think she represents everyone in the galaxy who thinks they're entitled to one. I think that's why it would have been a lot more movie.
Yeah.
If Reva just died, she'd represent all those people out there who think that they have that hero's journey arc to get revenge on Vader, and they're just never going to get it because he's Darth Vader. And I think it would empower Darth Vader more, who's about to be humiliated in this show anyways, by giving him more of a death count, essentially. Like, someone's got to die, but he just leaves everyone alive. Obi-Wan survives,
well,
she survives.
Let's speed run our way to where we're going, which is they're running away. The Empire is in right behind him. Sorry, I'm focused on. It's always funny when I leave one guy up and as I'm just talking over him. Let me see here. Subtitles up. All right, so he goes, "Oh, we shouldn't chase after the one ship. We should chase after all those people who are escaping." Vader goes, "No, go after Obi-Wan. I hate Obi-Wan." At which point you go, well, why don't you take your fucking ship and go after Obi-Wan, Vader, if he's that important? He's like, no, bring the whole triangle. I want everybody. And then eventually he goes, all right, now I'm going to take my TIE fighter. Maybe because of hyperspace, whatever. Yeah, sure.
Star Wars would be so much better if people talked like the way you just did. Why don't you go take your fucking ship, Vader? I would be tuned in every fucking week.
Andy, we gotta do a series which is just like taking these shows and just overdubbing them.
Yeah.
Just like, why don't you take your fucking ship then? You take your ship. Shut up. I'm Vader. I do what I want. All right.
So check out these stupid decisions, right? They're after that ship with the Star Destroyer.
Do we jump into 6? I think we're on 6 now.
We're on 6. Yeah.
Vader's yo, we got to go after Obi-Wan. And it's like, the Inquisitor's like, no, go after the rebels, all right? So it's like, why did he take the Star Destroyer if he ends up using his little ship anyways? To go after
well, they needed to establish that he needed. I don't know. Like, did he need hyperspace? Is the Star Destroyer faster than his little ship?
Where the hell? Well, the little ship should be just as fast as
it should be just as fast as Obi-Wan's ship.
Vader's ship. That's his Imperial shuttle. Where the hell are the TIE fighters, man? Like,
Space Whale laughs at bring the whole triangle. This is all Star Wars is to me is we got to get the triangle. Everybody get the triangle so we can get a triangle and go to the triangle. Like, that's everything in Star Wars is trying to find a triangle or be a triangle or learn about a triangle.
Or blowing up a circle.
Blow up a circle. There are a lot of circles as well. Robin Hiller for 5 says, here we go. Here comes my biggest gripe. Obi-Wan is not lit at all for one random reboot shot. Cracked Mask Vader is all lit, and Obi is great. Now, we need to talk about this really quick.
I did all my homework for this. I'm so
Happy Warrior actually did some research, and we're going to bring it in. Which is in the original, or in Revenge of the Sith, Lucasfilm realized, hey, the actors are going to look stupid if we only light their lightsabers in post because they're not going to have red and blue shadows on them. So it's going to be like normally they would have these like dull sabers that weren't even lit up, and then they would add the glow and everything in post, but they realized it looked stupid, so then they actually gave them glowing lightsabers so they could get the lights on them. The belief is that all of the light added in the Obi-Wan show is all done in post, which is why it looks pretty darn bad.
Did you hear? Ewan McGregor actually said he preferred the old sticks. Like,
Pete brought this article in, so I'm going to let him explain.
So basically, I read a few articles, and there's, I think the one you were just on is the one that gets pretty deep. But basically, they try to do both. They tried to do the old George Lucas way with where you kind of do a lot of it in post, and then they wanted the colored lightsabers. But the problem is, though, that was done with film, and when you're doing film, the blue light there's a color spectrum of light, and they are at certain wavelengths. And the difference between film and digital cameras, you can't really notice it for a lot of things, but with certain parts of the blue spectrum, you can. And so what happens is there's not a good way to feed it out. So there's a lot of magic they can do in editing, but when you have that particular wavelength of light in your shot, you can't just take it out like you might a different color. And so they're stuck. So they're basically they couldn't go back and redo the footage for whatever reason. Maybe it was just too expensive. So they just kind of went with it. I know it is ugly, but I also in some ways think it kind of works too.
I think this whole show is ugly though.
Yeah.
So to me, I went, yeah, it looks like shit, like the rest of this show.
Yeah,
I don't find this show visually dynamic. I just find it dark. Like,
does
way
anyone
too
have
dark.
a problem with the music? Because the music is god awful. Almost like they don't own the rights to Star Wars music.
Some people have been mentioning that, like, you know, when Darth Vader shows up, you don't hear the Imperial March and stuff,
Or the breathing.
I don't know.
You don't hear him
yeah,
breathing.
or the breathing. I don't know. I don't pay close attention to the soundtrack, but I know that has been a complaint for some people.
I just mean that for not the earlier parts, but for the lightsaber fight in 6 exactly, the fact that the light is just so blasted out, I think that was kind of a neat looking effect to use. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was a mistake they were stuck with. But I think just for that part, it did work pretty well.
They found a way to make it work. Well, I wish we could show it. Man, I want to show it in action, but again, Disney keeps clipping us. You'll have to watch it yourself at home. Rob Dinkle for 5 says there are a lot of great shows on TV. The Boys. I love The Boys. What's
Boys is awesome.
What's BCS? Ball Cuppin' Sisters, Ozark, etc. Why do we accept low quality Star Wars shows? The show is a near complete fail. Here's the thing for me. After the sequels, which like I think actually like destroyed canon in a lot of ways, which I have some canon problems with this as well, which we'll hopefully remember to discuss. I don't know. I guess I'm just so much. After Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, well, nothing will ever be that bad. I've just been shocked into being like, at least it's not Rise of Skywalker. At least it's not Last Jedi.
Isn't that like what the bar has been for the rest of like every Star Wars property? Is it's just not the Rise of Skywalker?
And
I also just think there's nowhere to go with Star Wars. I think
there is, Vito. There is.
They have to do something totally radical.
You cannot keep going with these same 3 characters, though. They keep changing. Like it ruins it, man.
Just all fan service shows. Go ahead, whoever was.
Just make something separate about different people inside of this universe.
Yes,
like, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is a better Star Wars movie than any of the new Star Wars movies.
But the problem is we don't reward them for it. Like I think they go, we could do that, or we could just make a Boba Fett show, and even if it sucks, people will subscribe to Disney Plus because it's Boba Fett. So that's kind of the problem.
How sustainable is that? Because I think that. It's not. I don't think I just have nostalgia glasses from a few years ago. These Book of Boba Fett. I mean, COVID and shit was happening, but the Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan are not as good as the Mandalorian. I don't think. I don't. Maybe it's whoever's the showrunner or whatever, but it's just not as good. And
I was kind of disappointed by the dialogue in this fight. I think this is the climactic fight between Vader and Obi-Wan, and now is the time to really give us some, Shakespearean, heavy, epic dialogue. And Vader goes, "Have you come here to kill me?" And I'm immediately taken out of it because I'm like, you came here in your triangle. Obi-Wan was running away. That line doesn't make sense.
Dude, what he should have said this. It's kind of maybe cheesy, guys, but he should have said, "No, I'm here to save my friend." Boom.
There's
then
something
like that. That's cool. That's what
there's a million different things you could say.
Obi-Wan said, I mean, in the 3rd film, Return of the Jedi, right? Luke is telling Vader, "I feel the good in you." He's like, "Obi-Wan once felt like you." It's not true, right? We don't get any of that in this fight. You know what I mean? And the dialogue's awful. Darth Vader's not breathing. and when he is,
all
it's
right,
very
Lewis.
low.
I know he's not breathing. You have brought the
Bro, that's
your
okay.
biggest
Listen,
problem with the show.
Darth Vader's mechanical breathing is one of his iconic features.
So they should add it. Maybe he developed that later in life. When
he was okay.
Maybe he
Revenge of the
developed
Sith,
it
he had
after here, where he got his thing blown up.
No,
I was
he
going to
was
ask
breathing
if it was
Revenge of the
present
Sith.
in the prequels.
Yes, it was. It was. It was when
Maybe that
and it
was him
loud.
getting used
was
to it,
loud.
and then he got used to it for a little period of time, and then he went back to it.
Vito, do you work for Disney or something?
Yes, and
Okay, good.
me
I
and
knew
John
it.
both
I
work
knew it,
for
Vito.
Disney. I mean, ultimately, this climactic fight, he buries him under some boulders, and then, of course, does the thing where he walks away instead of making sure he's dead, which is like, stop doing that. You can't do that 10 times in the same show. At some point, have somebody try to actually kill somebody. And then Obi-Wan goes, I am all the Jedi. Someday.
He goes old Goku in this scene. Old Goku.
He goes, I've seen the future. And he goes, someday Palpatine's granddaughter is going to take your name. And Vader's like, what the fuck does that mean? He goes, I don't know. And then
Beware the Reylos.
His mask. Yeah, beware the Reylos. And we do get some weird lighting. It kind of works, but it only works, again, because it's so fucking dark that you can't see anything anyway. I hate the lighting in this show. I don't know what happened to Star Wars that everything's got to take place at night. This is Tatooine. This has got 2 suns. There's not even like a little bit.
I don't think they're on Tatooine.
Dave,
so this is
Tatooine. That is
Tatooine.
Tatooine. You're right. Sorry.
Yes.
I wasn't caught up with.
Wasn't
So
it the
Reva-
that lighting effect really got prominent on Mandalorian when Ahsoka showed up and they had all the light, remember, in her
Yeah.
entrance? And so that was clearly like the new way to light lightsabers even more so is go pitch black and just have the light.
I love the way he
Overdone.
took the Death Star there, only to like Obi-Wan just leaves like nothing, and then Reva gets to Tatooine before Obi-Wan.
Okay, well, that's the other thing is that we have an A plot and a B plot in this final episode. The A plot is the only thing you care about, which is the climactic battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. The
Which
B
keeps
plot,
cutting in and out to Reva doing nonsense.
yes.
It ruined
So
it.
not only does we cut between the A and B plot, but for the first half of the episode, but then the second half of the episode is a crazy lady chasing a child through the desert. And then ultimately, Obi-Wan having no impact on her actions whatsoever. So she's
Vito-
going to go, I'm going to kill Luke. And then Obi-Wan shows up and she goes, I already made the decision not to do it. And Obi-Wan's like, well, I don't even know why the fuck I'm here then. Why did
Vito,
I
could I
even
add
come?
one more thing, bro? Could I? Oh shit! I even fucking damn that! I think I just lost my mind. I forgot. But listen.
Yeah. Does Luke remember the time a crazy lady chased him with a lightsaber through the desert? How did his parents explain that? Did they feed him blue milk until he forgot about it?
It's
I
the
just wanna say,
concussion.
Yeah, go ahead, Rhea.
I just want to say I appreciate the little bit of fans. Well, this whole show is fan service, but
Yeah.
the fan service towards Owen and Beru, just defending their son effectively,
Yeah.
and defending their home, not being
That was
willing to
cool.
run away. I loved it, even though to y'all's point, it does break the tension between the actual fight between Vader and Obi-Wan,
Yes.
which we all mostly care about. So it does break that tension, but I do appreciate that those scenes are there.
This episode was edited terribly.
Sorry, Vito. Going
Yeah,
back.
go ahead.
This is very important, guys. If you're an old school Star Wars fan, like I consider myself one, no way the Inquisitor goes back, sees Vader in such a fragile state, and doesn't finish him off. That's Star Wars. The real Star Wars would have had the Inquisitor kill Vader off, and then go back to the Emperor and say, "Oh, Obi-Wan killed Vader. Now I'm your apprentice." That's
When he
real.
shows up and he sees him with his mask missing or
Yeah.
whatever else.
I mean, he can barely breathe.
Vader looks like he regained his footing at that point.
No,
he's probably
dude,
still
he's
ready
all
for a
fucked.
fight.
Dude, he looks fragile there. The Inquisitor, no way Vader shows himself that fragile to any Imperial.
All right,
anything.
regardless.
100% agree with Lewis. Vader looks like a complete amateur.
Yep.
Well, and that's what I hate about the show is that we never give Vader a big win to show it's Vader. It's always Obi-Wan is always one step ahead of me. Even if them fighting to a stalemate would have been better than having him. It could have been they both cut each other. It would. You know what? How I would have ended this? I would have had him cut Vader's helmet open, but I would have Vader. I know Vader can't use Force lightning, but something to be responsible for Obi-Wan's hair turning white. To be like he also struck a blow. I I wanted him to like shock the hell out of Obi-Wan and be like, he aged him 20 years with Force powers. And be like, at least they both came out of it. Were you trying to say something?
Yeah, can I ask your interpretation of something? Which is when Vader, when Obi-Wan says "I'm sorry," which I think is a really nice moment. Like, you got the feels, and then Anakin says, "I'm not your failure," and then he changes beats and he says, "You didn't kill Anakin. I killed Anakin." It's like he puts back on that Vader front. But did you perceive it as like Anakin temporarily reveals himself for a second, basically saying, "It's like I'm actually feeling the feels too. Like you said you're sorry," and he goes, "Don't," as if to say, "Don't worry. I think this is kind of a farewell." And then he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get back in character."
No, I get you if that's what you got out of it. I think that's cool. Like if that's what you like, because sometimes you have to interpret it. You know, you have your own interpretation. But to me, it was kind of Vader not giving the win to Obi-Wan. Like, yeah, you didn't kill me. You know, you didn't kill Anakin. I did. And there, though, look, Obi-Wan should have killed Darth Vader right there.
Well, that's another question.
Now it's not his friend anymore.
But I was saying
if he kills Vader here, doesn't a lot of stuff get solved? I mean,
I think
doesn't he have a moral duty as a Jedi to kill a Sith Lord?
But I think part of the reason for this scene, though, is to illustrate that, you know, that's not really like the final form of Vader. That's still very much Anakin.
Yeah,
I felt like I felt like Vader put that to rest. Remember, he ceased to be Anakin Skywalker and became Darth Vader.
Yeah, I think it's a front he puts up. I don't think he's. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where he pretends to. It's like this whole Vader Christopher Reeve suit that I'm in. Like that was my idea. Like I totally put myself here because the alternative is far worse, which is that I made mistakes. You know what I mean? Like I prefer not to be in this fucking suit. I used to date Natalie Portman. That was a better life. Rather than take.
I had a lot more fun with that.
Like I used to boink her, but now it's like. That is far more terrifying than if you just sort of claim like fake ownership over your own decisions. It's like he's not there by his own accord, but he has.
Peter,
to
you trying to say something?
Yeah. I'm trying to be very polite. Wait my turn. A lot of people here.
Oh no, that's not the.
No, don't do that.
I'm sorry. It's just,
Go ahead.
Okay, so 2 points. One, George Lucas would kind of agree with it because it's been a while since I heard, but he said in an interview that Darth Vader technically didn't need the suit, but he wouldn't have been the fighter that he was. He'd just be, like some. I mean, this isn't how he put it. Basically, just be like your normal disabled guy, Star Wars wheelchair. He wouldn't be the scary Darth Vader, but he might have a life, and so choosing Darth Vader was kind of like part of that. And then I'm gonna say a big problem. I think. The ideas here are great, and it's easy to see if you're watching this, if you're familiar with the property, what they're trying to do here, like Rhea and many of you have pointed out. I think part of it definitely is execution. I think no one's hardly bringing this up. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. Have you ever looked at executive producer lists for any of these Disney
There's
Plus
a lot
projects?
of people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
They'll have
you
sometimes
100% right.
17 to 25 people. I think the tragedy of that is that it kills nuance. I think it kills where you're trying to say, let the audience decide. These two things are conflicting. It's hard to tell who's the winner and who's not. What happened? You see this in Rise of Skywalker. It isn't just Rey defeats Palpatine. She totally tones it. And
too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, it's just hard. It's just hard to walk away and believe it. And you're like,
but I don't know if you've compared this to the other shows like Boba Fett and Mandalorian, there's less cooks on this show than there is in those. There's only 5 writers on this show, which actually isn't a lot, and only 1 director, obviously. So it is a bit tighter. And for a show that's not
only 1 writer and 1 director, and they were both me. So
yeah, John made the whole show. John breaks bad news. We know this.
I apologize for besmirking Dr. John. That's not nice.
Anyway, there's so much to be said about this final fight. I guess ultimately I was disappointed by the dialogue and the theme, and by again just like. Why is there so much walking away in Star Wars? Everybody fights everybody to death, stabs them or breaks their helmet or whatever else, and they go, well, the only Jedi thing to do now is turn my back and walk away so that we can fund, future sequels and prequels and whatever. Can somebody kill somebody in Star Wars? Now, obviously, he can't kill Vader, but at least, again, some situation where they're separated by a rift, or he knocks them down a thing, or, a spaceship picks him up at the last moment. Other than just, I won this one, see ya, and turning around and walking away. There's too much of that. They can't keep doing it.
Yeah. Did y'all feel anything when
Well, of all the examples of people letting people live or whatever, I think Obi-Wan letting Vader live in this instance makes the least sense of all of the examples, because at least in episode Revenge of the Sith, he thought he killed him. He just walked away. This time he just walks away letting him live, and it makes absolutely no sense. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
now he knows that he's like the Emperor's right-hand man. Sorry,
And he's now going to murder how many people are now on Obi-Wan's conscience? All the people that Vader's going to kill from here on out.
Exactly.
Rhea, what were you going to say? Rhea was trying to say.
Rhea had something to say.
Yeah, I was just going to ask y'all, what were your thoughts on, Obi-Wan's apology while he was still under the impression that he was fighting Anakin and not necessarily Vader?
I really did.
I did too. It hit me.
Nearly tears. Yeah, the feels, man.
That's what's frustrating. There are good ideas. They're just very poorly executed, very rushed, very lazy, and
I can't say lazy. I just think poorly. I mean,
bro, I'm gonna spoil it right now.
I'm sure a lot of work went into this show.
Vito,
They're just not planning enough.
The return of Qui-Gon Jinn was the worst thing. He came out of a pub. He slouched. He was slouching. You know what Qui-Gon signifies in the Star Wars saga? He is the first Jedi to become one with the Force. The way they presented him, I've been waiting 17 years. The way they presented him, just like stumbling on the desert. Go back and watch the Two Towers with the return of Gandalf. That's the way you do it. This is awful.
All these shows need like an extra year of writing and planning.
But what's Lucasfilm doing? They don't do anything. Why
I don't
is this
know.
rushed?
They're hiring
not it's not like they're making stuff.
Rob Dankel for 2 says Rhea gets a gold star from Kathleen Kennedy for defending this show. Good work, Rhea. You are the ultimate Obi-Wan defender. And Alan Walsh drops $5 a bucket. Thank you, Alan. Don't forget to super chat and let us know if you're enjoying the show. We're almost done talking.
No, we're not.
Those weren't $5, Vito. Those were £5.
£5.
When this show
like
got canceled?
$6.
This show, Vito, was like it got in production, and then they like ended it. Remember?
Yeah.
They had to stop because the show
ended it because Deborah Chow's like, "Yo, we need Vader in this."
Yeah,
and they added
Even
Vader.
Daldry was the original writer, wasn't he?
I think it was going to be Darth Maul, and then something happened on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
You know what was neat? Do you guys remember the part where Obi-Wan uses the butt of his lightsaber to screw up Darth Vader's blinky lights and stuff in his chest? That was pretty neat.
All right,
and that's one of the high points.
I have to play
of the
this
show.
clip. If we get struck, I'm sorry, but I have to play this. Obi-Wan has just fought against his former pupil. He has reached the emotional apex of his relationship with Anakin Skywalker. He has discovered the friend he loved is truly dead and has been replaced by a horrible, heartless monster. Let's see how long he takes to reflect on this fact. Let's see here. And now he's on Tatooine. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Now it's about Reva again. Come on! You have to give me a scene. There has to be some sort of scene. You can't just immediately cut to Reva chasing baby Luke.
We were running pretty long. And,
the show was running long. It's time to wrap it up with this pointless Reva scene. Obi-Wan does not need to be here. I thought he was going to convince Rey. I thought there was going to be a fight. I thought Reva was going to go, he's going to be just like his father. We have to kill him. It's the only way. And he goes, I failed his father. I will not fail this boy. And Reva puts down her lightsaber and she goes, fine. Prove that you are the old Obi-Wan, whatever else. What, John? What is the B plot?
The B plot followed a woman of color. We needed to give her proper screen time. Otherwise, we would have been breaking our contract.
That's true.
And that's the end of it.
On the other side, like Vito, to your point, like the A story that you said, the only one that matters, it ends where you are at the timeline. I think it ends literally halfway through the episode. So the A story ends halfway through. I mean, it's the only story that matters. I think they needed all the real estate in the world without Reva, who should have died in episode 5.
Well, why does Obi-Wan come to Tatooine? Just so he can arrive a little too late for her to go, I thought about it and I don't like killing kids anymore.
He had to move out of his cave into the other one that he ends up being with in episode 4.
He's going to come back to Tatooine eventually, but there's no reason for him to be here for this Reva scene. He has no impact on it. She has her own moment of self-revelation.
They needed to give her the ending, and they're setting her up on a show.
I know from a cynical Hollywood standpoint, but it's terrible writing.
Can we ask for real? The people even like this? Are you really looking forward to a Reva show?
They're not going to.
No.
Really?
No, thanks.
Raya, why?
They're gonna make a show. Yeah, Raya wants it. Raya, tell us.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of parallels between Anakin and Reva, and I want to see her, find a path that's outside of, either following the Empire, and she's no longer like on the path of being a Jedi, obviously, because she was a lapsed youngling. So where is she gonna go from here? I would like to see those adventures personally.
Oh my God, give us a better character.
See, I mean,
such a dumb character.
I think that she could have been a good character, but am I even on the screen anymore? Is there anything showing up? Oh, there we go. This show is so dark, I can't see anything. I have no idea if we're even watching anything.
They told Luke, we're doing an exercise in case we get jumped by Tusken Raiders. Reva should have been killed by Tusken Raiders right there at the end, since they mostly come out at night. Obi-Wan shows up and notices the Tusken Raiders took
That would have
Reva
been
away.
hilarious.
I'll say this about Reva. I think that this feels like a situation where the show was written with giving her a TV show in mind, rather than organically writing a TV show. And when the fans go, "Hey, we really like that Reva character," you go, "Oh, well, you know what? Maybe we could do a show with her." The problem is when you plan a spinoff before you even know if anybody likes the character, if the character is intriguing, you kind of sacrifice the writing a little bit. I do have to say, David March with 20 Canadian dollars says the show with two of my favorite people on here. Of course, he means John Breaks, Bad News, and the Happy Warrior Pete. His two favorite people are here. We need to insult another blackjack machine again soon. When we were in Vegas, me and David played at one of the video poker machines that lets you play against, it's a robot dealing you cards, but it's like a Japanese CG woman. And we said terrible, horrible things to her that you would never say to a real blackjack dealer. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
That was a good
you whore! Give us better cards, you fucking... we would never talk like this normally.
So Luke, the first time he ever hears of a lightsaber in the Force is 8 years after this, when Tatooine's on the outskirts of the galaxy. Everyone knows what a Jedi is on Tatooine. Everyone's seen a lightsaber on Tatooine. And, what's going on?
Wait, has everyone on Tatooine seen a lightsaber?
Yes, she ignited a lightsaber when
Luke wasn't there for
it. They were harassing the people on the base, on Mos Espa, whatever.
Was Luke conscious when Reva was threatening him with a lightsaber? Or no?
No, but remember when Uncle Owen went to the town, whatever
That's a good
town?
thumbnile, Vito. You should grab that.
And then
That's
all
pretty
the
funny.
Inquisitors were harassing everyone with the lightsabers and everything. People know what Jedis are. They know what lightsabers are. There's no way you could forget that 8 years later.
Here's my ultimate. Now, a lot of people have talked about, does this show break canon?
Yep.
And here's the one thing about the show that feels like it kind of breaks canon for me, is that Obi-Wan goes back, visits Leia.
Good screen grab.
It's like, hey, I'm a guy. I go on fun adventures. I love visiting the whatever family, the Organa family. We're great family friends. And then he dies in A New Hope, and Leia is cracking jokes with Han Solo. It's not like it's like Luke, who met Obi-Wan a day before, is like, oh my God, I can't believe Obi-Wan. Oh my God,
you know
and Leia,
what,
who knew him way longer and had a way more intimate relationship, is like, oh, whatever, just go to the base. This Han Solo guy sucks. It's just goofing around and having fun. That does not work. It does not make sense to me.
That's all a good point, but can I point out one thing? I thought it was interesting when Kylo Ren, turns out his name is Ben. I was like, oh, that's very cool, but I thought it was very weird because Leia never had the connection with Ben Kenobi, whereas Luke did. But now this actually does put that into context as to why Leia would...
Her connection was he dies in front of her and she goes, whatever, which seat do I get on the spaceship? I'm the co-pilot? Does not react at all. Also...
She can name her kid after Ben Kenobi now. I get
it. Whatever. Anything connecting to the sequels is like an accident of happening. The sequels don't even count. Here's my other question. Is Ben Kenobi a misogynist? Because the whole time... he's been going, I got to train this Luke kid. 100%. I'm going to give him a lightsaber, and I'm going to train him the way of the Force. He knew Leia. Leia is also Anakin's kid. Why at no point did he say, and I got to get her a lightsaber and train her? Was he just like, girls don't get a lightsaber? I'm all about this Luke kid. He knew both of them. So why was he so focused on training Luke? And at no point did he say, I wonder if Leia has powers. Maybe I'll train
not
going to
like this answer, Vito.
That's the answer, John.
The answer is that Obi-Wan Kenobi is a pedophile, but he's a gay pedophile.
All right, that's not big bad news here on the show. I'm just fucking with you, John.
We're clearly gonna get a young Leia spinoff as well.
Oh my god!
No,
I can't wait
there's
for
not
that.
enough there.
How has
They
this
couldn't do
stream not
that.
been banned
Can't wait for
5
that.
times?
The waterboarding scene's coming
whatever.
back.
Here's the
Must
deal.
be the reason why she looks 6 rather than 10.
Because Leia's destiny was to lead the rebellion. She was already a big part in freeing the
He
galaxy.
doesn't know that. He doesn't know what her destiny
He does
is.
because she's an Organa. But this is
he
according to. I'm talking about the real Star Wars, the one they made in the 70s.
He should be going, you're Anakin's kid. Someday I'm going to train you how to fight with a laser sword and use your mind to do cool stuff.
She doesn't need to, though. She's going to be in the Senate.
Doesn't need to. He knows the Jedi are the most important thing. He was all dead set on training Luke. He's like, this is what you need. He literally goes, your father would have wanted you to have this lightsaber. Leia, he's like, here's your mom's gun belt. I don't know. I just had it lying around and I have nothing else to do with it. I guess you can have it. Have a holster with no gun
around here. Is what she says.
I think they just assumed Vader was going to be more attached to the son and train him as a Sith to turn him.
I mean,
I think it's weird.
You could argue in Vito's point, you know, the Jedi are basically warrior monks, and maybe he just doesn't have a lot of you know, because they're celibate, he doesn't have a lot of experience with the other sex. Maybe he's just more comfortable.
Oh, maybe he's afraid of women. You're right. Hammer Gods, shut up. Agrees with me. Says, thank you, Vito. What? It's my show. I get to do that whenever I want. Thank you, Vito. Anytime a comment praises me and my expert story breakdown, we have to highlight it. If both of the children are the chosen one, why does only one get protection from a Jedi Master? It's true. Why are there no Jedi protecting Leia? Why are they? She's clearly not well protected. If fucking Sting from the Red Hot Chili Peppers could just show up and take her whenever he wants.
Please, you idiot. You dumbass.
Here's the bottom line.
That's next season.
Here's the bottom line. Obi-Wan never met.
Sting comes in season 2.
Wait, what was Sting in?
He's in Police.
Yeah, it's the same. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, Police, same band. Regardless.
Here's the bottom line. Obi-Wan never knew Leia. That's bullcrap. In Empire Strikes Back, he says that boy is our only hope, and then Yoda's the one that says no.
I think it's because Luke got the lion's share. Luke got the lion's share of the midi-chlorians. That's why.
If these Disney Star Wars continue, I suggest that whoever's going to make them at least watch the movies. I mean, they're getting paid pretty well.
No, we're not going to do that.
But other than that,
paid enough for that.
I'm not watching that shit.
I kind of hope they have a Reva one because it's going to be laughable.
Okay, so what do we think about? I forgot about this. What do we think about Luke Skywalker?
So bad.
Later on goes, what about, there's a guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you ever heard of an Obi-Wan Kenobi? You know, Golan goes, never fucking heard of him. What are you talking about it? And at no point does Luke
Skywalker's
go,
like,
wasn't
I like
that
turtle.
weird guy who showed up and gave me a spaceship when I was a kid? And it's a core memory because you never get toys on this shit desert planet. He goes, no, shut up. You never met a guy. Nobody ever gave you a toy.
He still plays with that toy, too.
This is what I hate about all this stuff is it's always like, what can we find in the background? And instead of just being a cool background prop of like, yeah, Luke had a little toy. It's like, did you know Obi-Wan gave him the toy? And it was a special gift. It's like, oh, fucking shut up. Can't it just anything in the background of a frame just be there for no reason? Does it all have to have a magic little story about, did you know Han Solo got his magic pants from his granddad? And like, no, I don't care.
The dice.
Too much. The dice. Where'd he get his dice? Where'd he get his blaster? Who had the Millennium Falcon? I don't care.
Well, that
That's
space
not
camel in the
storytelling.
background's related to Jabba.
Oh, did you know that Obi-Wan's camel was descended from the same camel that C-3PO had sex with in BBY 998? Okay, great. Fucking, I stopped connecting everything to everything. Just there can just be stuff in Star Wars. It doesn't have to all connect in this intricate web.
They learn nothing.
Bullshit.
They learn nothing. They just keep doing it, and it's
Because
grown worthy
everybody
every
loves
single
that
time.
shit.
We
Everybody,
need to spin off about that.
Oh, wait, hold on.
everybody
I thought
loves
you were doing a
the
bit.
Easter egg. No, everybody loves the Easter egg bullshit. They love it when it's done in the Marvel universe. They love it when it's done in any franchise. It's like, oh wow, look, it's over there. The thing that was supposed to be in the other one. They love it. They're never gonna stop doing it because people fucking spend hours and hours and hours making fucking YouTube videos about it.
I almost threw up in the movie theater. I saw Rogue One when Buttface and What's-His-Face encountered the main character of that fucking movie. And I was just like, fuck you. It's just like, that's not good. It's not good. I was not happy about that.
Does this not break canon a little bit that Luke met Obi-Wan
This is what happened. Vito. He woke up after he got attacked by the Tusken Raiders in A New Hope, and he goes, Obi-Wan? Like, he mentioned them, and that's what they're basing the entire thing of.
He says, Ben Kenobi, am I glad to see you? Like, he's met Ben Kenobi before. There's nothing
I don't think he's ever met Ben in the real movies. No. I think he thinks of it as an urban legend that everyone talks about. No one sees him because he's a hermit. Like, that's what it was.
You're the crazy Uncle Ben.
When he comes to, after the Tuskens attack him, when he comes to, he says, Ben Kenobi, am I glad?
Yeah, because he's in the Dune Sea. The Dune Sea is where Obi-Wan Kenobi lives. No one's seen him before, though.
No. Prior to that, when he's talking to C-3PO and R2-D2, he's saying, Ben Kenobi.
I wonder if he meant old Ben.
Yeah, old Ben.
Because he's like an urban legend on Tatooine. No one goes to the Dune Sea because the Tusken Raiders will take you out.
Pete, you got something to say?
I say rewatch it again.
When Obi-Wan leaves the cave and he moves into his house that we see in A New Hope, does he have to purchase that from someone? Like, is there a realtor on Tatooine?
Yeah, no, cave real estate costs good money on Tatooine. That's all. He bought one of the best caves.
He definitely has a registered address. Jimmy Smits knew where to find
knew which cave on Tatooine. I don't know, man. I was like, because at first I was like, this show's trying to be a little bit smart when Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are like, hey, there's going to be a Tusken Raider attack. Luke hunker down in this bunker. I'm like, oh, that's a good explanation of why Luke's never seen a lightsaber. And then he gets chased through the fucking desert with a lightsaber. I'm like, okay, well, that's a little confusing. And then it's like, well, at least he never met Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't give him the thing. And it's like, hey, what if Obi-Wan met you when you were a kid? Why would he not forget it's his only toy on this shit planet? He would remember this guy forever. He'd be like, when's that creepy, weird Santa Claus coming back around? Give me more spaceships.
I think like the small caveat, though, is that we don't know the extent of the conversation other than hello there.
Hi, here's a thing. Bye. Nice meeting you. Like, no, I imagine there was a slight something.
Okay, Luke got a serious concussion falling down that half a mountain or whatever happened to him, and that's why his memory is all foggy. He doesn't remember that weekend at all.
David Marsh for 5. Lewis, this is for you. Lewis, this is not the time or place to make sense. This is Disney, Star Wars. Logic and reason are checked at the door. What do you think about that, Lewis?
Well, what I think about that is then I'm not going to mention why the hell is Luke redheaded all of a sudden. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know. This
was nothing like Luke.
All right, we're almost finally done with this godforsaken series.
Oh, this is
oh my god!
Oh my god!
Qui-Gon's back! Oh, it's Qui-Gon!
Terrible.
Now, Lewis is mad about this. Lewis, why are you mad about this?
Okay, so there's a deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith. I don't like the prequels, but there was word of a deleted scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Yoda is meditating. As he's meditating, you'll see a jump cut on that asteroid field, right? And then Bail Organa tells him, hey, we've made contact with Obi-Wan or whatever. So there's a deleted scene there where Qui-Gon actually appears to Yoda and says, I've become one with the Force. I've let go of everything, basically obtaining the power that the Sith were after, which was immortality, right? So this is a very important thing Qui-Gon did. And it's something that, I've been looking forward to seeing Qui-Gon's return. And instead, it looks like, yo, bro, I just got out of a pub. Let's go, into the... It's so bad. He's slouching. The entrance is so... The choice is so bad. You don't think
he's Jedi enough? Isn't he relaxing in the
Qui-Gon's supposed to come back and tell Obi-Wan right here that he's back and that we're going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to rebel. We're going to bring the Jedis back.
If you notice Liam Neeson's Irish accent is just full-on Irish. Like, he's way more Irish now than he was in...
Obi-Wan,
come with me in the Lucky Charms. Come off to me.
He doesn't sound like Qui-Gon. He doesn't sound like Qui-Gon. And he's slouching.
And who wants to be the AD on set?
Than mine right now.
He wants to tell Liam Neeson, like, hey, dude, you're a bit Irish. You're a bit Irish.
Yeah, this kills it, dude.
Well, Obi-Wan now has a new fun vest, and he cleaned up his clothes, and he's going to go on season 2 adventures. And that is the Obi-Wan show. Who is excited for season 2? More Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't wait.
They said it's going to be season 1, but both Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen have now said in quotes We hope they bring us back for season 2 because they're desperate.
They're definitely doing it.
And it's like they'll definitely do it. It's
They're
so
gonna get
cool.
more. You're gonna get some more Ewan
Christensen.
McGregor here. Hey.
Christensen hasn't seen work since Jumper, I think. I mean,
No. He
pretty much has disappeared the last decade.
No, he's got a shit ton of stuff on Netflix and Redbox, but it's just not good. But I've watched
Redbox. He's a Redbox. He's killing
I've been trying to monitor his acting.
Slump.
Not so good.
What does Qui-Gon tell him? Hey, what's up, dude? We gotta go. What was the dialogue? Hey, what's up, dude?
He said, "I can't wait to go on more exciting adventure." He goes, Obi-Wan, I came back from the future. It's your kids, Obi-Wan. And he goes, what? He goes, get in my DeLorean now. That was a different movie. Guys, I'm gonna put a poll in the chat, and the question is going to be: did Obi-Wan suck? And you can answer yes, no, or meh. And we will see what our chat has to say about Obi-Wan. But ultimately, I added too many.
I want to say something else. Like in August, we're supposed to get the Cassian Andor show, and for some reason, like there's a section of the fandom that hates everything and they're like, no one wants that. It's like, dude, Rogue One was the best Disney movie. Like,
yeah, but Cassian Andor wasn't like a good character. It wasn't good because
he was good. What was wrong with Cassian Andor?
He was a terrorist.
Wait. Diego Luna is my Mexican doppelganger. We need to support this fucking show.
Yeah, listen, Diego Luna, Cassian Andor shot a rebel because the rebel was losing it, like freaking out in front of Imperial troops. He was a cool character.
I don't support the Cassian Andor show. It doesn't make any sense.
The beginning of the rebellion. Come on.
That story it has an arc. He starts off as a shitbag, and then he learns to be a good guy, and then he dies. Yep. And that's it. You don't need anything else.
He's
to
never
know
a bad.
about him.
He's not a bad guy.
He's a morally gray guy. He shoots one of his fellow rebels so he can get away.
But that's part of the rebellion. And also, Mon Mothma's in there. I think that's going to be good. Maybe it's not.
Can I get a Mon Mothma show? Can I get a Mon Cowley?
You're rooting for that.
Can I get a Neum Nub show or whatever the fuck?
Dude, the beginning of the rebellion against the Empire, the very beginning, that's a
where they
good
got
premise.
that Movie is Rogue One.
Rogue One was about the Death Star plans, dude.
All right.
The Empire was already in control.
Look, I see
what you're saying.
They should make more movies and less TV shows, I would say.
Or make something. But think about it.
Yeah,
Rob says a better poll would be: would you watch a Reva show? I already know how that poll is going to go. I already know. Even people who like the show, I don't think want a Reva show. Rhea, you are excited. Rhea's like, Reva all the way. I want a Reva movie.
I want a young Leia spinoff.
Where do you see the character of Reva going from here? What is the course for Reva?
So my hunch is that because Samuel L. Jackson has alluded to wanting to do more Mace Windu work, we're gonna see Mace Windu not be dead and come back in some capacity, and I want him and Reva to meet, and I want them to train together and reinvigorate the Jedi.
What's funny is now that you say it, I'm like, that's probably what they'll do. That's
I want
probably
that
exactly
so
what
much.
they'll do. Now I hear it.
Nobody dies.
That's a good theory. Yeah, nobody does die. I don't know who's still dead in Star. The only person who dies is Qui-Gon.
The only revelation I'm going to say right now,
even ghosts and non-ghost dead characters, nobody.
I think Grogu got saved by Qui-Gon in the temple. That's what I think is going to be a big revelation. I think Mace Windu went to the temple all fucked up. Order 66 hit, and he went in there trying to fight the stormtroopers and saved Yoda, baby Yoda.
Toga Lucas says George Lucas has confirmed that Mace Windu is alive. I cannot confirm or deny that, but it sounds possible. Derek Kinney for 2 says a show with the dude with blue jeans in Mandalore. Was there a guy with blue jeans in The Mandalorian?
There was a cowboy character, I think.
I want all the camera guys who get shot. Anyway, all right. Look, here's what we're gonna do. Everybody gets a final word. Try to make it quick, 30 seconds a minute. Drunken Atheist Studios, is Obi-Wan Kenobi a good or a bad show?
It's just okay. It's better and worse than Book of Boba Fett. Still, it feels like a step down for Mandalorian. I don't need all these questions answered, as you were saying, how they're filling in blanks that don't need to be filled. And my imagination was better than the explanations that were giving me. So I hope they move more towards stuff that are about characters outside of the main Star Wars thing. So I'm
right.
kind of have that mostly negative, but it was okay. There was some.
Give
cool
it a out of 10. Where do you give it?
I give it a 5.5 out of 10.
5.5 from the Drunken Atheist Studios. Rhea, good or bad? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I think it's a great show. I give it 9 out of 10. I loved the hero's journey of Obi-Wan just recovering from his, his grief and sense of guilt over the events that transpired, a lot of the enabling that he has done throughout Anakin's life, and then finally getting that confrontation with Anakin, who is now Vader, and realizing that as much, blame and fault that he put onto himself, him hearing Vader effectively saying, "No, I murdered Anakin," allowed him to accept that there were some things that he couldn't, have, kept from happening no matter what. And on top of that, the additional characters and, stories and side quests and things like that, maybe it wasn't perfectly executed, but I appreciated it, and I enjoyed seeing the characters on the show, like Tala, Rokan, Haja, Riva. Yeah, they were great too.
All right, and you're giving it a 9 out of 10? I think maybe you disconnected there, so good point to end it. Mean words! What do you got for me?
Yeah,
good or bad?
Of all of Disney Star Wars, the Kenobi show was the one I think was most necessary storytelling-wise. Like, it's up there with Rogue One. Like, Rogue One is the movie that we didn't think we wanted, but was nice. It was more necessary than the sequels. I think it did much of what I thought was going to happen, including his general arc. I think the fan service regarding Vader was a little surprising, but I think they ultimately stuck the landing and made it mostly work without breaking continuity or canon, I suppose. But it did fucking flirt with it. I think by episode 5 or 6 they started to stick the landing. So I'd give it like a 7.5 or 8. I'm not as harsh on it as others. There were some plot holes and some bits, but I think it
inconsistencies and stuff.
Slightly, it under-delivered for a Kenobi show. Yeah, it under-delivered a little bit, but I think it's far better than people are giving it shit for. So,
Lewis,
could you please have the people that direct these movies watch the original ones? Please.
Oh, that's so mean. Come
on, John.
They must have watched
it. I'm not doing it.
These are created like people who have that's what they think Star Wars is, but they've never seen one. This plot, like Leia gets caught by the Empire, we've seen that already, like 3 times.
In this show, yes. And the music is awful. Please, I thought you guys bought the rights to Star Wars, but you could use the music, not that bootleg Duel of the Fates where they were fighting. It's too dark. It's film. The shots are framed awfully, like amateur. Some of the sets look like they're done in my backyard. I can't hear the dialogue. And for the love of God, I could go on and on. Qui-Gon's entrance was the laziest, most disrespectful thing ever, like out of all the Star Wars movies. And there's a lot of low points. Qui-Gon's return should have been so epic and like, oh my God, wow. And it was just a dude coming out of a pub, slouching with a bad wig on. This is a 9 negative. No more, please.
9 negative. Pete, the Happy Warrior. How'd you like it?
I'm in the middle. I think I give it a 7 on average, with the first and last episode being higher, and then the middle just kind of being lower.
7's pretty high.
There's potential here. Disney, Lucasfilm has something is going on there, because they've had this for a while with Star Wars, where they will have projects that are rock solid with people that completely understand them. Like season 1 of Mandalorian, Filoni and Favreau, they get it and they're able to execute it. So there's potential. They're able to get a lot of these actors to come back. People who said they never touch Star Wars again with a 10-foot pole. So that's been our main star here with Ewan McGregor. So there's potential here, but they need to figure out execution. They probably need to humble themselves. I think if they could really nail what works and maybe slow down the production process, maybe they could really make something special here, because they have done this right at times. they have moments that work. I love the fight on episode 6. I love the fight in episode 5. So I think they can do it, but they haven't yet. They haven't done it consistently. So I think it's a good first start, and we'll have to see from here. Who knows what happens next?
Beautiful. And of course, Andy Signore.
I heard so many goods and good enough and close. Oh my God, this was Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. This was the most hyped thing we had, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't necessary. I think it ruined Darth Vader. We've never been able to see him in his prime except for that one moment in Rogue One. They didn't even need to connect the two. They could have had Vader on the hunt for Obi-Wan and never even really stumble upon him, and it would have made it better. We could have still seen him in some badass action sequences. I feel like we didn't even get that. We got forced in Reva, who it was such a rushed storyline, and like you said, like they were like, we're gonna make this character a new show. A character you're gonna love, so get used to her. And I'm like, she's okay. I don't need to see her again. I want to watch the fight with Vader and Obi-Wan. I don't want her. There was so much forced in. Ice Cube's kid, all these plots and characters were just Kumail Nanjiani with his like swarmy, like, am I fun or am I bad? I don't know. You care? It all was just so mediocre. Like, this is Star Wars Obi-Wan. He's back. Hayden Christensen's now playing Vader. Like, my God, hire some damn fans to like challenge the writer's room and give it another year. But no, Disney refuses to ever like take time to really crack quality anymore. They just want quantity. Disney Plus is all about quantity, which episode's which, and I felt it with this. I was sort of giving it a pass. I was accepting it. I was even falling for some of the fan service. But the more and more I've sat with it, the more and more I'm disappointed in what Disney's done to Star Wars. And I'm not saying this from so many people just make excuses. I'm a Disney fan. I watch a lot of Disney stuff. I will continue to watch Disney stuff. I'm not boycotting Disney Plus, but I'm becoming so disappointed with them. The volume, it all feels it seemed like it was going to be such a good idea, but it's like making them, they're making like direct to DVD sequels of all this quality content that they're just like more. Which character can we exploit? Which character can we exploit? Make a new timeline. My God, Star Wars is such a vast thing. Make a new world. Go somewhere else. Like, start making new things that, Disney in 100 years can reboot 100 times like they are now. But my God, I'm so over it. I'm so disappointed. I give it...
So 9 out of 10.
I give it a 3.
A 3 out of 10. My God. Well, I guess I should give it.
What did you give it? What's your rating? I'm going to do our average, Vito.
Oh, God.
Wait, I don't get a final word?
Oh, wait,
John,
sorry.
I'm planning a bit for you, John.
Okay.
Shut up.
Wait, but what are the numbers?
I'm going to give it 5.5 out of 10. Look,
and John, what's your rating?
No, John doesn't get to do one because he worked on the show. That's
I made the show.
Yeah, he made the show
In my backyard, actually.
And he also didn't watch it, so don't factor him into it.
Of course I'm not watching this shit.
Here's my thought.
It's a 5.4 average rating, Vito.
5.4 average. I'm the average. Hey, look at that. Look, 5.5 out of 10 I give it. When it started off, I was like, this is not nearly as bad as everyone's saying, but as it went along, it was clear. I think a big problem with the show was actually the Reva character, that they didn't really, it felt like I was watching two different shows, that they didn't really mesh. The Reva character did not have enough relationship to the Vader plotline, which everyone was there for. I was like, okay, yes, there's this girl who's been plotting against Vader and brings Obi-Wan into contact with Vader. But at that point, she had been used up. The fact that she made it all the way into the finale and had her own purposeless moment with Luke, which I felt added nothing. It felt like this was a very mishmash, thrown together thing. Again, I hate the lighting. I think a lot of it looked, TV cheap, whatever else. There is stuff I like, though. Okay, I mean, they did some stuff right. But again, I think the biggest problem for me was just a complete lack of writing, because as we're sitting here, there's so much great dialogue that could have happened, so many things we wanted characters to say, motivations that went unexplained. I'm a guy, I care about character, story, dialogue. And frankly, I didn't get enough of that from the characters. Darth Vader and Obi-Wan meeting for the first time in a while, and Darth Vader goes, "Did you come here to kill me?" And I'm like, "You came in the spaceship. You did. You're only going to get a couple lines, or are you already throwing them away and having terrible lines?" I wanted more, dialogue that really felt impactful between these characters. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like a first draft script. John, hearing that your show that you worked on for so long has a 5.4 average, how do you think your team put together a good show, or are you having second doubts?
Well, we're really doing this show for people like Rhea, who are in positive beyond any comprehension.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I love the show.
People who don't think about these things.
All
they
right.
just like the lights and the shiny. It's for them.
No. Look,
No,
I
I'm
think
kidding.
Yes.
Honestly, I really do think that like you guys are like the 6 other men on this panel are so brain rotted from having to look at this.
I identify as a female.
Okay, well, okay. The everybody on this panel,
Everybody
aside
other
from
than Ray
me
and Mean Word, and he was pretty positive. He gave it a 7,
Yeah.
which is not bad.
you guys have spent too much time with this.
Me, Andy, and Lewis, basically, and
Yeah.
Drunken Atheist. Yeah.
You guys hate this show for no reason. Like I don't know. I didn't watch it.
We're
and
just
I'm not
haters.
going. I'm not going to.
The man who has
because,
not
like,
watched the show knows that we hate it because we're haters.
I don't watch it because I don't like this gay sci-fi stuff. I don't think it. I don't think it's cool. I think a bunch of guys dressed in dresses swinging light bars at each other. I think it's stupid. I think the whole thing is fucking. I think you could find it like if you could watch stuff like professional wrestling, that's cool. Baby shows on YouTube where it's like Spider-Man giving birth to Elsa's baby. That would
be better to watch. Yeah.
There's so much content out there. There's gentlemen spending hours and hours and hours talking about pedophilia on the internet. I have too much time on my hands watching that. I cannot waste my time watching people with weird makeup.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, a beautiful show, beloved by the world. Guys, we've said it all. The chat has said it all. Our poll, I'm ending it here. Did Obi-Wan suck? 50% of people said yes. 20% of people said no, or 28% no. Yeah, 50% yes, 21% no, and 28% meh, kind of in the middle. So
that's the thing, man. Star Wars can't be meh. Star Wars should be above that.
It's always going to be meh. It can't
from
be
the
above
start.
meh.
From the start, it has been meh. It
No,
has
it's
been
been
average.
No,
I watched it when I was a kid. I didn't
The only
get it
way
when I was
to
a
elevate
kid.
the only way to elevate current Star Wars is by defaming the old Star Wars. Star Wars is never it had like, oh, I'm going to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters. Sure, but it also had for over 1,000 generations the Jedis were the keepers of peace and justice in the old Republic.
The
before
moment-
dark times, before the Empire. It's Shakespearean, man. This is bullcrap.
No, if it was Shakespearean, they would have really leaned into the brother-sister kiss. The fact
true.
that they had
Guys,
that,
we've said it all here on the Monday Night Grift.
Keep
Can
going.
you
Send us
believe it? We've been going for 3 hours. I'm muting everyone who isn't me because we have to. At some point, I have to let you horrible people leave. This has been a fantastic show. I hope you've all enjoyed our Star Wars discussion, and I look forward to many more. With that, I want to thank all my guests, including John Breaks Bad News. You can find him on YouTube at John Breaks Bad News. John,
yes,
thanks for coming by. Thanks for putting all your work into this great show.
Thank you. I
really knocked it out of the park. But
I hope everybody really loves it as much as we didn't care about making it.
well, that's what's important. That's John Breaks Bad News, everyone. The Happy Warrior is here. Happy Warrior Pete. Hello, Happy Warrior. You can
Glad to
find
be
him
here.
over on. No, don't show my.
Yeah, we got
Happy Warrior.
I got an
Pete, there
article
he is.
about Reddit and how they treat their moderators and stuff. An art coming out Federalist either tomorrow or Wednesday, so people should enjoy that.
Follow the Happy Warrior. He's a great journalist, Scribs, and he was giving me some great
So much
stories
try.
during the thing. You helped us out tremendously. Thank you, Pete. We've also, of course, got Nerd Report, who we love. Nerd Report is here. Lewis, what have you been working on? What do I got?
You know, I just look at whatever Andy does, and since he's awesome, I just try
Just
to copy
Andy.
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
official. This is how to become a successful YouTuber: is to copy Andy's Signore.
Yeah, he's already
Head
made,
on
like,
over to
what,
Nerd
10 awesome
Report.
channels. when someone makes like 10 awesome channels, man, you gotta follow that.
Look at this though. 2 weeks ago, thank you for the 40,000 subs. Nerd Report Lewis is killing it. We love him.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
And I love having you on. You are a true Star Wars fan. No one can argue with your knowledge.
Yo, I love Star Wars. It's the reason I started. A quick story. I got into this because I wanted to get into the Star Wars movies a week before everyone because I saw the media would do it. I saw members of the press doing it, so I wanted to get in for these films.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, everyone, please subscribe to the Nerd Report. Mean Words. Where do we find you? Do you have anything to plug?
I'm nothing. You'll never find me unless I.
Mean Words is garbage. Thank you for coming by, Mean Words. We appreciate having you. Drunken Atheist Studios. Where do I find you? Are you on YouTube? Oh, I muted you. Hold on. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on everything. If you just Google Drunken Atheist Studio,
Drunken Atheist Studio, subscribe.
I'm the only one dumb enough to call myself that.
You're the only one who has chosen that moniker. And of course, I am so happy. The first time we had her here is Rhea. I love Rhea. Rhea runs great gaming streams. It's 4A's, people, right?
Yeah, my SEO sucks. Sorry. So that's why I have my URL in my name.
You need to, regardless, look for Rhea. Maybe come up with an adjective. You got to get big. Whatever. Find Rhea. I'm subscribed. See, I'm subscribed. Rhea's got great gaming coverage. We love her. And Rhea, I'm sorry all these horrible men tried to mansplain Obi-Wan Kenobi to you. I feel so bad. Thank you for having me on. Sticking with us. Thank you for being a trooper. Everyone, youtube.com/Rhea with 4 A's. She is great. We love her. Andy, what can be said about the great Andy Signore other than to go to Popcorn Planet and support a man who needs no support because he's killing it. He's killing it, folks. What do we got? 661,000 subscribers. I'm unsubscribing. You have too many at this point. Done with you. We love you, Andy. We're very excited for your success, and I always appreciate you coming on. I love talking movies with you. Thanks for being here, buddy. He's gone silent for a reason. I don't know why. And what do I get to plug? Of course, guys, please don't leave. I need you to do me a favor. There's one thing you can do for me, and that is to go to superkiller.org. The mailing list has just hit 500 names. I want to get it to 1,000. I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. Please go to superkiller.org. And please sign up for the mailing list for my comic book. I'm finally going to make some content instead of just shitting on other things that people make. So if you want to support me actually telling stories instead of just making fun of people's stories, you can do that at superkiller.org. Guys, this has been the Monday Night Grift. We love you all. Take care of yourself. Believe in yourself.
Hey.
And thank you all for watching. Give me a little bit of music here. What do we got? What's a good there we go. Yes. This has been the Monday Night. Oh, sorry. There's the music. This has been the Monday Night Grift. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Now let's just watch Andy stream. Yeah. Come on now. Don't forget to hit like. Come on back next week. What are we doing, people? What are we doing here?
Whoa!
What a nightmare. Boom. Yeah. Get out of here.